Is Janet from another planet? 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 Is Janet from another planet?
The opinions you're about to hear on this show are strictly those of the panel.
Today's digital landscape with the spread of false information can lead to dangerous outcomes. It's crucial for everyone to think critically and verify sources and reflect on the impact of what they share. Let's promote responsible communication to ensure that truth prevails and actions remain rooted in reality.
The following program is rated TV MA LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Well, hello. Welcome to the Friday Night Shit Show Halloween party. Let's just say thank you for everybody that's in the chat. And I want to thank Tommy, the Guinea Pig Collective, for joining me tonight.
Hello. It is a wonderful day for Pigaween, and I see there are a lot of tasty toes hanging out in the chat to be Dibble Dog. Pleasure to be here. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that I hope Ruben's doing well. I hope everybody in the chat is doing well. Man, let's have some fun.
Yeah, it's Halloween, so we're going to talk about Halloween fun and where Halloween came from. But let me introduce Ruben. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Hello, I'm here.
Good. I'm glad you could join us. But thank you everyone for joining me on your happy Halloween.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yes, you do. But your avatar looks very commanding. It's very scary.
Yeah, he's sitting on my desk.
But I got this wig in Vegas, and so decided when I was in Vegas, everybody remembers, I think, when I went, that I was going to dress up as the mistress of the night. But I'm the mistress of the dark. So hopefully everybody likes it. It's a pretty good costume. I was showing it earlier, but see, pretty good.
Now is the
what are you, Cindy Sweeney? Is that Cindy Sweeney? Wait, stand up again. Just kidding. Hey, now stay there the whole show.
No, that's no fun. I'm not going to stand up.
That's what people. You should have done that. You should have basically worn a see-through dress and just put Cindy Sweeney and just stand up the entire show.
Yeah, then that's all anybody would expect me to ever make. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. But
they want that, Janet.
Some people do, but I do have women on here too. And some guys like me. They think I'm fun, just the way I am. But let me see what everybody's saying in the chat a little bit. Hi, thank you for coming in. Six Nations, I really appreciate it. And then it was American Bob, muscles. And let's see, I'm trying to go up a little bit real quick.
Is he really American?
Hi, James. Thank you for stopping in. He's hanging out earlier backstage.
Oh,
Baby girl, happy Halloween. And let's see who else is down here now. Oh, Tree Rock Creations. Thank you. Hope you had a wonderful day. Hope everybody's handed out a lot of candy and stuff out where I'm at.
I'm lucky and no one ever comes by here.
Yeah, not a single person, not one
Even though I
person.
do say go away, humans.
Hey, Lloyd. Thank you for coming. It'll be Christmas soon.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for stopping in. Remember to go ahead, hit the like button, go ahead, share the stream right out there, let everybody know we're going, because you always got to watch out for the games that YouTube is playing. Pleasure to see you all, and remember, always have fun when you're on there. If it ain't about fun, what the hell's it about?
No,
Do you have a show I don't know about? Just kidding.
Bruce a message, and he said he's cleaning.
Yeah, radio show that is like. There's that commercial there's that joke meme. Have you heard of the? I'm here to try out for the radio show, and the guy goes up there and he goes, "Is this on?" Welcome to 109 radio. And he changes his voice for the whole thing. It's just okay. Is that okay? I've seen that joke before. Have you heard that joke before or no? Wait. Have you ever been on radio? Have you ever had a radio show or any radio?
Mm-mm.
Tommy, have you?
No.
Okay.
I've talked to people on radio, but I mean, been on a radio show, like a legit radio show. No. I mean, I've done stuff on stage with bands and everything, and it kind of translates. Yeah.
So you have that because you know how to work the mic.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be reasonable about that, okay?
well, okay. So you're saying that your equipment's good?
Oh, my equipment's fine.
Oh,
I'm not doing anything extra. I'm using it exactly how it was prescribed to be used.
Wait a minute, your equipment works, then I'm going to call Social Security. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Oh, God. Wait, who's that?
That was me from X. I said Happy Halloween.
I was playing.
And I'll have to get rid of that avatar tomorrow, but everybody was changing their pictures to Halloween pictures, and most of them are using, Grok to make them for them. And they were making it look like themselves, but AI themselves. And I thought, I'm going to go for something more traditional, try to make myself look like, from like Bewitched.
Mm-hmm.
That. So I really liked the picture. I thought it turned out really, really good. Says, is Tommy in the Discord?
No,
are you in my Discord?
I stopped using my Discord a long time ago. They made some policy changes years ago that I didn't agree with, and so I just stopped using it. I wasn't going to sign their new agreement form, and I was like, no. I mean, it's the same thing with Twitter X. I mean, there's a lot of things that they're doing I absolutely don't agree with it, and I'm not going to get into deeply because we're supposed to be doing Halloween stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of things that even that site does that I don't agree with. I don't like the people that are running it, but I will say it is kind of funny if you like a post on Twitter today and it has Halloween in the name, you do see a little pumpkin pop up for just a second before it turns into the like button again.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I love my Discord.
What's kind of funny, you mentioned the Discord thing is because I had a Discord account, but then what happened like over 2 years ago when I set it up again, I had set up one time when I had built my laptop years ago, and then I was going to do some gaming theoretically just to see what all the fuss is about. Didn't like it.
Yeah,
I don't get it. But then when I started going with Geeks and Gamers, I said, well, let me do it again because at least I'll play with somebody. But I never play with anybody, so I said, fuck it. It's like they play, we watch. So I'm going, oh crap, I'm gonna. So I just don't do that. But to the effect that I had my Discord account, so I had two accounts, and I one was a mistake and I fixed it because one was for business and whatever. The bottom line is I finally got it back, and I just found out that Gilded's going away too at the end of the year, which is a shame because the Guild is actually very good. But Discord, agreeing with Tommy, it pops up and then there's so much garbage, and I'm going, no, I don't know. I'm just done with it. But Halloween's here. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, that's one thing. I love Halloween.
Well, I do have a question.
Holiday. Yeah,
I do have a question per se. I only remember doing it twice or three times, really, theoretically. I played Halloween 3 times. 2 as a kid that I remember, and 1 as an adult. So Well, actually, that's wrong. I've done it 5 times. I've worn the same costume twice. Okay. So, what costumes do you remember that you liked wearing when you were kids or growing up? I see you, but you, Janet, you have so many different outfits you wear. So the outfit you like the best may not be a Halloween costume, but what, like, traditionally when you grew up, because girls want to be princesses, did you want to be a princess or do you want to be somebody else? What was your thing?
Well, I had a real creative mom, and we'd make paper mache and do all kinds of cool stuff for our costumes. I remember one year my sister Sandy went as a thing of grapes, and my mom made them out of felt. So what she did was she just took one balloon and she covered it with felt and sewed it together, and then popped it and stuffed it with batting and stuff, and made that for Sandy. She was adorable. It had little curly cues hanging down and stuff. It was great. And I went as a robot, but what was the only bad thing is I had a box around me, and I had a slot in the front with a paper, or not a paper, but a pillowcase stapled inside, so that when they dropped candy in there, it would go into the pillowcase, right? But the thing is, when I made the tubes for my arms, I made them bend, but I didn't make my legs bend. So my legs, I had to walk straight-legged, and I'd fall down, and my sisters would have to help me stand up because my legs were straight.
That's funny.
But I loved that costume. I had so many people taking my picture, and that is what gave me the bug. I think I was like 11 when I did that, and it was on Air Force Base, so I got shit tons of candy. And what my dad would do is he'd take all of our candy, because we'd all have like a half a pillowcase full, and then we'd have to dump it in the living room on the floor. My dad would dig through all of it and take what he wanted. Right?
Oh shit!
And, then he'd say, "Okay, it's safe. You guys can eat it now." I think that parents started that whole thing about, let us check your candy, make sure it's safe, because they wanted to take what they wanted out of it.
What are you talking about? That 15% candy tax for inspection is legit. I applied it to all my kids, and it was done correctly. Everybody was safe at the end, and I had treats. It all worked out.
It's funny. I don't know. Well, but what about you? What was your costume stuff that we were growing up?
Well, I mean, as I was growing up as a kid, my parents didn't have tons of money, so my parents did a lot of sewing stuff. So both my mom and dad were able to sew, and they had the big giant Singer sewing machine, one of the fold-out desk ones, the big old oak one. So they would make a lot of my outfits. So one of the costumes I liked the most, I didn't enjoy wearing, but it was a really cool costume. They sewed a Chewbacca outfit together for me, but they used this heavy ass shag rug, and they didn't put anything on the inside.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah, you know how that nasty,
raspy, get scratched.
I know. Itchy, and it was so hot. But my favorite one was actually one I kind of pieced together myself. So back in the day when we had all the Halloween stores and all the big giant malls that you walked into, they had the big Halloween shops that sold those big crazy like predator masks and the big arm gauntlets with the fingers and everything. So I did that, and I did a whole predator outfit suit. And I was walking around with my younger brother, because there's an 11-year disparity between the two of us. So I was walking with him in the mall to get candy, because everybody knew back then in like the 90s, you go to the malls to get the most candy. So I'm walking around with this big predator outfit, and everybody's stopping to take pictures with me, like their kids and everything, because they just thought it was so cool. So that was my favorite one to wear. But the Chewbacca one was definitely memorable, even if it was nasty and itchy.
What was your favorite one, Ruben?
Well, for me, growing up, the ones I wore, of going backwards, of course, I've played death, twice. I dressed up because my wife at the time, well, she's dead now, of course. She had a office party, and this was like around 98, around 90, almost, it was a long time ago. So I dressed up as death, and what I did is I showed up in costume. So I did something very clever. So I had my glasses on, and then I put over glasses that had eyes that shined out. So my eyes were shining out. Then I had a veil veil, and then a double veil. It was a double veil. So if somebody wanted to come up and take off the veil, I had two veils underneath. And most people would just go up there and want to pick it up, and they saw another skull. So then basically it was me with my face, the lights, a skull, then then a veil, and then the outer veil. So it was like really deep, you know? So, and I had a voice changer.
Oh,
So that,
that's good.
and I wore gloves, everything. So you couldn't see any skin except for the eyes. And if you lifted up, you saw the skeleton face. So it really freaked everybody out. No one knew who I was. And no one ever did.
Well,
And
see,
then-
that's good.
And then, but
That's
then one other time back when, you know, I remember I told you about that girl a long time ago,
hmm
Phantom of the Opera. I played the Phantom and she played Christine. So that was one thing that I liked. And then, but the ones that when I was younger, the ones that I chose say a lot. I'm leading up to my favorite, of course. So one of the things that I loved, because again, I was born in 1968. So I was a child of the 70s, grew up in the 70s. So my second favorite costume I wore was Captain Adama from Battlestar Galactica.
That sounds good.
As I liked again, it was Kirk was the ladies' man. Adama was the sage. I like the sage captain. That's me. I'm like that. So then, but the number one outfit that I loved and I wore, and here's a picture of it somewhere, I don't know where, is Sherlock Holmes as a child. Because I loved reading Sherlock Holmes, Conan Doyle books, you know, Melville, Shelley. So I read all the books when I was a kid. So I started reading when I was very young. You know, when I was born, Sesame Street started. Sesame Street started the same year I was born, 68. So I learned at that time, Sesame Street was educational and actually had value. So all of PBS, you know, 70s and 80s, all that stuff, you know, was really, you know, all the stuff, Nova and all that stuff that we used to watch, Cosmos, which is a big thing I'm getting into a little later, but all that. So that was like important to me. And then now it's not the same way. But again, if I had to dress up like anybody, if I wanted to dress like anybody, I would have done the JD Vance thing, because what JD Vance did, he nailed it. He actually did the thing, and everybody's going apeshit about it right now. I posted on there.
I'm just waving at everybody. But yeah, that sounds great. My parents used to always go to Halloween parties. So I remember my dad spent like a week making his costume. He went as
but my mother is the one.
He went as Cleopatra and Mark Antony. And my dad had taken a pillow off the couch and made paper mache over it, and he made it to where he could set it on his shoulders, and it was like a golden vest, you know, to go over his outfit. So they made their whole outfits and everything. They just always looked great. So that's probably one reason why I always loved, you know, making costumes. And
did they have accessories too, Janet? Did they carry around a box of Cleopatra and Anthony cigar boxes?
No, but my dad had a sword, and you know, he had. They looked like they were going to be in a play. So
this is not okay. I got to share this because it's not Halloween. It's Christmas, but my mother made me an outfit for Christmas. This is Christmas 68. I am not even a year old, and I want to share this with you guys. So real fast. This is just my mother made this outfit for me. So my mother was a seamstress. She knew how to do shit. So let me just wrong button, dummy. Really fast. Let me share screen, share that one, and let me make sure it's big so you can see how my mother did for me. She made a little. It's a simple. It's nothing big. It's just me as Santa Claus. Why is it not showing? Got to do it this way. Right here. Share.
There you go. Ready?
You see it?
Oh,
that's That's December 68, and that's me as Santa Claus.
Oh, it's adorable.
Yeah, she did a lot of stuff. She did a lot of stuff. All these clothes that she made them for all of us. I don't know if where is it? My mother. That's my first picture ever. That's my first picture. Well, that's our wedding picture. But yeah, see how she made outfits for us. She knew how to make. She looks like Debbie Moore there. But essentially, that's all I'm saying is that
Yeah,
she
she's
knew how,
beautiful.
and then she had the singer, she had 3 of them. She had the old one that you would do, the foot, a bigger one and a smaller one. And
Uh-huh.
she had a craft room and everything. So when it came to Halloween, my mother would decorate the house. And then, of course, here's where I get disappointed with humanity, where somebody came over, a teacher came over and said, "Oh
Mhm.
my gosh, you have really bad spiders here. All the cobwebs.
Yeah.
They're fucking, it's not real cobwebs, moron." They just thought it was real
Yeah.
cobwebs. Oh
That
no. And
that
no, I'm
sounds
serious. I'm not
like a lot
lying.
of
I'm lying.
people today. I'm saying people today would do that. Some people, I mean. But
People are so highly offended by everything. And, looking back on some of the thing when I was a kid, that was so much different than today. Like when I was growing up, every place had some kind of Halloween party and a costume party for the little kids.
Yeah.
Like I remember even like my parents made me go to Sunday school, and that Sunday school had a huge costume party every single year for all the kids. So you did bobbing for apples and all that good stuff.
mhm.
You really don't see a lot of places doing that. And I know when my daughter was getting a little bit older before she got out of school, most of those schools did away with even being able to wear costumes to the schools anymore. They kind of prohibited it, a lot of them, and they've really just taken the fun out of all this stuff for kids as far as Halloween time. I mean, what was that
Mhm.
one year where like they needed all the kids off the streets by, what was it, like 6 o'clock or something like that? It was some ridiculous number. I really don't understand where society is going with some of this stuff, because some of the stuff that we got to do when we were younger, a lot of these kids will never know that kind of fun anymore. It really is a damn shame. I mean, even going to the malls, like I'm saying, going to the malls, and then people in the malls would be all dressed up to the nines to sit there and welcome the kids in and give them
I
treats and
haven't
everything.
been to a mall in like 5 years.
Dude,
Or
I
more.
remember when I used to go to malls as a kid, there was still smoking in the insides of the malls, not in the stores, but around the inside of the mall, walking around. Like things have
Well,
just changed so
well,
much.
well. For me, yeah, they've changed, but they've changed because, again, once you know you're being lied to, when somebody talks and you find out they had lied before, it's like they cheated on you. So that's why. But at the end, everything's performative, and I've known that, because the best
Mhm.
example is growing up in South Texas. I knew that pro wrestling was fake, and I just didn't like it. I
Yeah.
tolerated it because people did it. My brothers loved the shit of it, and South Texas was big in wrestling. You know how it, if you don't know, if you knows the history about 70s and how big the South Texas wrestling was. It was big in boxing and all that crap, which I don't like either. I don't like performance. I don't like sports. I think it's dumb. It's stupid, and or whatever things like people do that are like dumb. They're a waste of time. But the point being here is, all that fun we had was taken away because people started looking at the content and saying, "Oh, it's going to offend somebody." No, but this all goes back to one thing. And again, Steinfeld made fun of it. I did, of course, and I know Rush did back in the day. Was all these fucking ribbons? Wear a fucking ribbon. Be part of a group. I went,
Yeah.
no.
The first ribbon I ever saw anyone wear, I remember my mom came home and she had a pink ribbon on. And I remember asking her what she was doing, why she was wearing that. What was it, for a party? And she said, no, it was for breast cancer awareness. That was
Yeah,
the first one I
and
remember.
that's a lie too. That's a
Mhm.
whole fucking, you go down that whole pink ribbon thing. It's insidious. It's terrible. So,
Mhm.
but the point being here is that they ruined everything because essentially the theater kids who were given participation trophies and told that they're best ever are now voting all this shit in.
Mhm.
And the
Yeah.
teachers that taught them this shit to blow up the system, which is what they want to do, are doing it. But no, we're doing it. We're fighting back. And that's why Trump's Make America Great Again is so smart. Because there is something historical that you have to all have to know. French Revolution happened right after the American Revolution, but it was a very
Mhm.
bloody revolution. Why? For one thing, America was a new country, but they had already established themselves as America and Americans. They had an identity. and they came together to say we're Americans, and they fought against somebody who was trying to be a tyrant against them. In France, they were the leftists wanting to change how things are. So it was violent, guillotine, all that stuff. That's what's happening now, right now with the people. That's why you have people who had Halloween costumes of Trump being shot in the head and Kirk shot in the neck. And again, you want to do it. You're right. First Amendment. You can do whatever you want. It's in bad taste, but you can do it. But now we try to do something like the big thing now I saw was Tolkien is now said, oh, he's white supremacist, which has been going on now since Ring of Power came out, but it comes out again at this time period.
Well, actually, Ruben, it was actually going on before that, because if you remember, there was a while back where they were saying the orcs were representation of black people. That was well before Tolkien.
Yeah, before that.
They attributed it to Tolkien because he's the one that made the orc thing popular, because it really didn't exist in the language before that, because everything was considered goblins, if I remember correctly.
Correct. And then the thing is that, and again, the movie aided to the fire unintentionally with all that crap. But that was the whole idea. They're disfigured elves and men merging together, and then whatever. But again, that's a thing. So then everything that they have done, they ruined Halloween, and I hope that it comes back, and I hope that with what JD Vance did, what Trump's doing is a little bit of hope to do it. But that's the thing, is we can't sit on our laurels. We didn't win yet. We didn't win. We have one man and vice president and a cabinet trying to do everything around the world, and everybody is being like an armchair quarterback against Trump. It's ridiculous. We're going to have fun. So yeah. Whoa, what is it? What was that? Wait. Okay. Yeah. I saw that. Sorry, I was reading it real quick. Jumper fact. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's yeah. And no, it's true.
Well, I don't think Charlie Kirk would think that was a bad taste if they were actually doing it in a nice way. Now, if they dressed up like him and made him a zombie or
no, he's meeting Hitler. Hopefully you are.
No,
well, I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing I want to add.
When you do it in bad taste, you see.
I want to add this one to that though, Janet. Here's the stupidity of the people on the left. So when they're mocking Charlie Kirk by wearing these outfits, all they're doing is reinforcing that the guy is a martyr at this point. They really don't realize they're working against their own narrative.
Yeah, but they don't believe in martyrdom. They don't believe in martyrdom.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Everybody else is seeing this stuff. They're making themselves look like retards.
I know. Who is it? Jeremy Griggs from Geeks and Gamers. This is don't stop your enemy from letting him bury himself down. It's true. Let him do it. And that's the message that Trump's doing. Trump is basically, he's memeing Jeffries and Schumer, and it's working. So let it go, and then we can get back to the fun here. But yeah, I do want to think about if I have time to we can do like or have a reading of a poem or something, something fun for a story, good stories, or any good ghost stories you have.
Well, I pulled up a couple of things that I thought would be fun to find out the truth behind Halloween. So have you guys already know where it all came from and all that, or not?
Well, they may not know, so go ahead and tell it.
Yeah, it says that Halloween is believed to have connections to the festival of, is it Samhain, celebrated among the Celts of ancient Ireland on the day roughly corresponding to November 1st on contemporary calendars. The new year was believed to begin. The date was considered the beginning of the winter period, when livestock were brought in from pasture and land tenures were renewed. It was held that the souls of those who had died returned to visit their homes, and those who had died during the year journeyed to the other world. People set bonfires on hilltops to relight their hearth fires for the winter and possibly to frighten away evil spirits. People sometimes wore masks and other disguises to avoid being recognized by ghosts believed to be present. In such ways, witches, hobgoblins, fairies, demons, and the like may have come to be associated with the day. And then it said, Samhain period was deemed favorable for divination on matters such as marriage, health, and death. According to some accounts, when the Romans conquered the Celts in Britain in the 1st century CE, they bought their own festival of Verlania, commemorating the passing of the dead and traditions related to Pomona, the goddess of fruit trees and orchards. The holiday of Halloween also traces its roots to the All Saints' Day, a day commemorating the saints of the Christian Church, both known and unknown, who have attained heaven. There are varied accounts for its origins. In the 7th century CE, Pope Boniface originally established what would become All Saints' Day on May 13th. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III dedicated a chapel in St. Peter's, Rome, on November 1st in honor of All Saints, and the day was kept thereafter, perhaps in part of a supplant pagan holiday with a Christian observance. The evening before All Saints' Day, October 31st, was later designated as All Hallows' Eve, from which the name Halloween evolved. That's pretty interesting because I didn't know any of that stuff.
Well, there was also at one point in time, and Ruben might know this one too, that they actually called the night of All Hallows Eve or Samhain and everything, they actually called it All Saints Eve.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I didn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah, All Saints Eve and All Saints Day. That's how it really it is. And of course, you got again, you got culture saying they sold it from another. They all figured out one way because it's all astrological and but based on the rotation of the earth. This is the time of the harvest. It's all connected. So it is what it is per se. But again, yeah, it is a good time. I don't know. It's for me, Halloween is the official kickoff of holiday season.
Yeah, and it's
more so than Labor Day,
I've always loved it, and I love dressing up. I mean, even if it's not Halloween, for
you got 3 months celebrations in a row.
Or Mardi Gras, I loved because when I lived in New Orleans, I could dress up in all kinds of cool costumes, walk down the street, and no one cared. Nobody pointed at you or made fun of you or anything, and I fit right in.
Then Tommy, you had mentioned about people with the kids that they're shutting down all these parties they have now, but people still per se do celebrate Halloween. But what I want to know, or from both of you experience, when people are let's just say, what's the right way to say it, when they are they still like, because people still will put up decorations, they'll go all out internally, and I've seen things online, especially since the last I didn't notice this, but there were a lot of parties going around here. But do you see a resurgence of Halloween coming out this year? A little bit.
I haven't myself. I mean, it's been pretty quiet in the neighborhood. And as a matter of fact, we don't even get trick or treaters on my block because we're a little bit more of a rural area than what we used to be. Because we used to be in like a cul-de-sac area, like about I don't know.
Yeah,
I
have never got anybody.
But when I lived over there, and we had a lot more kids, and it was actually more people were going to see it. I used to do a whole big giant yard decoration spread, like the animatronics, all kinds of like gravestones and everything like that. And there was other people in that neighborhood that did the same thing. And we would actually get kids that they would bring them up in almost like those big trailers that you would use for a pumpkin ride or something like that. They would bring a whole ass load of trick-or-treaters up that just come to all these houses that were all decorated. But over the past 3 or 4 years, not quite as much. I don't see it. And I don't even put my decorations up because there's nobody that's going to see it anyway. Plus, I don't have my daughter living here with me anymore. She moved up north. I don't know why she would want to, but she moved back up to Pennsylvania. So I don't have the help putting up all the decorations and tearing them down anymore. But as far as like my immediate neighborhood, hardly anybody puts anything up.
Yeah, I have had more people talking about Halloween on the different apps that I was on, and other people I met in person that they were going to go to a party or something. So I've had quite a few more people that were talking about it compared to last year and the year before that for Halloween, and being involved in it and wanting to, looking forward to going and doing something. So I think it's gotten a little better. But it just, I guess it depends on where you live. But I had a few people that did post and talk about how they couldn't believe how much more expensive the Halloween candy was.
Yeah.
And one lady was talking in a space, and she said that she had bought some candy, but she went to the dollar store and bought it. And then she also bought a couple packages of raw main soup. And she had two different things, and she would let the kids choose which one they wanted. And she said the raw main was out before the candy was. So I think it's great. I mean, but they thought it was really cool. And she said when they were leaving, she could hear some of them yelling, "Hey, this lady has raw main soup." So
is that this the pronunciation?
I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Is that the way you pronounce romaine?
No.
Or not? Oh, how do you pronounce it?
Ramen.
Ramen? Oh.
Same here.
Ramen.
Same here.
I don't eat it. It's got
No,
pasta. I don't eat any pasta, and I hardly eat any bread because of the gluten.
Yeah, but it's not pasta. It's like chemical shit. It's like fucking.
Well, whatever it is, I can't eat it. My body's been rejecting.
Yeah, don't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it.
Now, come on, Ruben. If she wants the ramen to sound all bougie, it's okay. You can do that, Janet.
Oh, she can have ramen all she wants. Just don't have ramen.
It's ramen soup. Ramen soup. But she said it ran out really quick. I mean, the kids loved it. So I think it's great that she made them happy, and they'll want to come back.
We are Halloween. Halloween here in China. You get ramen noodles.
I bet they're real too. I bet they're real there. Real noodles.
I know somebody that actually lives he lives in Japan, and he says the difference between the noodles that we get here that they're packaged and saying that they're official as opposed to what they actually serve over there is night and day. There is no comparison between the two whatsoever.
Yeah, some of my friends said that when they eat the bread that they get from like Italy and other places like that is way better for you.
Oh yeah, I've heard the story. Like people that come over here and have our bread, they're like, God, it tastes like snack cakes. It tastes like pastries. This doesn't taste like bread because there's so much sugar and other stuff put in it.
Yeah, they put too much crap in it. That's why it's not good for you. That's probably why I have so many problems with it. Because I get all itchy. It doesn't mess with my stomach. It just makes me my skin itch, like the back of my neck and my lower back. It all gets real itchy whenever I eat more than 2 pieces of bread. So I either have bread for toast in the morning or I have a sandwich, and that's all I can have. Because if I eat more than that, I start getting itchy. So are you okay, Ruben?
I'm tired. I'm sleepy.
Oh, I'm really sorry that you're sleepy.
No, it's fine.
But one of the things that I thought was interesting that I wrote down, I didn't make a page for it. It was one of the things I found. It says 10 chilling true stories from history and real life, guaranteed to send shivers down your spine. And it was one of those little things that pops up when you're searching for stuff. This popped up, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. But one of them was, it says the imprisonment of Elizabeth Fritzl. In 1984, Elizabeth Fritzl was held captive in a hidden basement by her father for 24 years, during which he abused her and fathered 7 children with her. Elizabeth eventually escaped in 2008, exposing one of the darkest abuses of human cruelty. Isn't that horrible? That is so horrible. I mean, just some of these weird stuff, but the fact that just people like that, running around out here every day is Halloween, basically, where you got to fear for your life. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
even your own family.
We want to. Let's get some light stories. Let's talk about this pedophile that raped his daughter.
No, I know, but that was just one of the things that popped up when I was searching for. I found a thing: 7 best horror movies of all time. I'm going to see if you guys can guess any of them. So, have you guys? Which ones do you think are the 7 most scary movies
of all time?
Yeah. and then they've got it ranked, and they said they ranked them by the IMDb rating.
Oh,
So I thought we'd go through all these because that's pretty interesting because I love movies.
well, Halloween
number
is underrated.
7
Yeah. Wait. Okay.
Number seven
number
is
7.
A Nightmare on Elm Street. That's the number 7th one that's ranked.
What the?
But this one looks like it's the one with Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's Halloween.
Oh, it is? Okay. I couldn't remember what the name of that one was, but yeah, that was Halloween. But that one was
What other
really
what other Halloween film was Jamie Curtis in?
And then number 6 was The Omen. Did you guys ever see The Omen?
Yes, I like The Omen.
Yeah, it was pretty
The
scary.
devil wins the end. Just kidding.
But yeah, my mom used to have all these on tape.
Halloween.
And then my dad got those big discs. Do you remember those? I don't what they were called.
Laser discs.
Laser discs, yeah. And then it says number 5 is Halloween from 1978. And then The Night of the Living Dead from 1968.
Yeah, I agree.
Never seen that. Rosemary's Baby.
Yep.
1968. Wow, these are all old movies. So
Well,
the
they
newer
are.
ones
That's
aren't ranked.
Exorcist. What newer movies?
The Exorcist from 1970.
Yeah, I agree with this list.
And The Shining from 1980. All of
what
these
other
movies are older than 1980.
What's missing?
I don't know. One.
No,
2,
you said there's nothing. You said there's. What did you say? Nothing from. Well, there's something good over since.
I said this movie right here at the beginning.
The only movie that I would add.
Yeah.
What is it a horror film? Wait. What is the criteria here? Go back up again.
No, I was saying, what do you guys feel are the
horror films? Okay.
Scariest movies of all time, best horror movies. What are your choices?
Well, I mean,
one of my favorites.
Well, of
is
course, my favorite Halloween movie of all time. Of course, I'm gonna say this. No, it's the joke. Okay, it's a joke. Do not take this seriously. But and of course, next time, well, don't worry, Janet. You'll wear this costume tonight. So my favorite Halloween movie that I love to watch is Life Force.
Yeah, I remember that one. We reviewed that one.
Vampire girl. That's what you want to. That's what you want to dress up at. You don't dress up at all. She's naked.
Come to me.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
That was so much fun.
That was my favorite growing up. Just kidding.
I had never seen that until that we watched it.
I know, but my favorite, I would say one of the movies that's on the list is not here that I think is a classic is there are a few out there that are terrifying. Mm-hmm. They're all Carpenter. Where is the fucking now it's on my list. God, it's on my tongue right now. Oh God, I forgot it.
The Thing.
The Thing, yeah, The Thing.
Yeah, The Thing is one of my favorite scary movies.
And then of course,
what about Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
That one's good too. But then there's one, of course, above that is Alien. More. That's a good one too. Yeah, that's on this list.
Alien.
But that's the rub. Is Alien a sci-fi movie or a horror movie? Thing. I was saying the same thing with The Thing. Is The Thing a sci-fi horror film, or is it a horror film? It's a yeah. But God damn it, I had another film on my list right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, never start breaking down exactly what the films are. So I got into it with Trina from Real Horror one time, and we were going over a few different movies like Terminator, and she said horror. I said it's sci-fi. And then they were trying to argue about it. And I said, since there's a dog in the movie, it can technically be a dog movie. And since there was a buddy cop relationship, it can be a buddy cop movie. And yeah, it goes down a rabbit hole. You
get semantic in that. You get.
Well, I agree. I think.
But again, my favorite of all time. I was going to say this. Sorry.
Go ahead.
They live.
They live.
Yeah, that's so like on the nose for what. That's basically how I feel. I feel that on January 6th, I got those glasses, and
Mhm.
then I have been fine tuning them since then. And boom, that's why I feel the way I feel. But
Mhm.
Die Hard is a horror film. It's a Christmas movie. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Period.
Yeah, that's a Christmas movie. That's what I would say.
I will be
For
the
Die
lone
Hard.
voice to disagree. I don't think it's a Christmas movie because if you could take a Christmas
It's a
element out of it,
Christmas movie.
the action remains the
Have you
same.
guys seen that movie?
Ho ho ho! I have a
The
machine
one
gun. Christmas
where
is playing in the
I can't remember
background.
the name of it, but the kid hires a hitman to kill Santa, and Mel Gibson stars as
Oh
Santa
yeah,
Claus.
Fat Man.
Yeah,
Batman,
Fat
God,
Man,
that was
that's
funny
Never
as
hilarious.
saw it.
hell.
Never
I've
saw it.
seen that like 6 times already, and it was so funny. I loved it. I loved
There
what the
is.
elves
I don't know.
ate. You know, they ate nothing but sugar.
Shit. Do you? There's. I don't know who.
Adorable.
Again, I don't watch TV, but I do know shows when they came on because I used to watch television news and it would show some bullshit come on. There was, I think, the lady. She's an Indian actress. I think she was in a show called Quantico on ABC. And
Yeah.
she recently had an interview where she gave a podcast where she basically let the cat out of the bag, where she said that every single script that she's gotten for the last 10 years or 5,
Yeah.
especially 5, it's so dumb. They basically, the marketing people, what they do, and it makes sense to me now. And now that I hear what they're doing, they're making you stupid. But the way they do it is, they essentially say, okay, how long should this movie be? But we have to break it out over time because everybody's on their phone, so they're not watching. So we have to explain everything. So all the dialogue that we think is dumb because they're saying everything and not showing you, they have to say it because no one's watching. These people don't watch movies. So the only way to entice them to go back in is to do it that way. But then we don't watch it and no one watches it. So it's retarded.
Yeah.
But
You're right.
but again, I saw that on Twitter and I think you should see it. I got to find that thing. But it's not for this show, but in general, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what's what we've been talking about. All entertainment, all fun has to take it out because people saying, "Oh, you can't do it that way because it's going to offend somebody or make them feel stupid." That's basically what it is. If I come out with if how'd you say it? If 2001 came out today, people would basically say it's boring and we don't understand it. It would flop, which it did flop. But anyway, but the point being here is people don't like high art. Because there's one thing I have to complain about Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars. And of course, I think, Tom, you know what I'm going to talk about. That Kubrick got right is space. There's no sound. So I've always hated when they have special effects and in space they make sound. I don't like that. So
when the planes move like they have, or the spaceships move like there's gravity. There's no gravity in space either.
Yeah. So all that little shit gets to me. Especially who the one that did it the most egregious was Rian Johnson with his old bomber run bullshit in space, which made no fucking sense. I literally, but that movie was in my introduction to Geeks and Gamers because I saw Jeremy complain about it and I went, it can't be that bad. It was worse.
Well, one of the scariest movies I remember ever watching is
I never watched any of them. I watched Force Awakens and I never watched anything after. I'm sorry, Janet.
Don't do it.
I had to get that in before we moved.
Literally, I wanted to punish myself and I did watch Rise of Skywalker, but I couldn't watch it all the way through. I only watched it in chunks because every 30 seconds I was going to have to vomit. The one movie I've never seen completely is the last movie that I attempted to watch from the MCU was Doctor Strange in the Madness one.
Oh, I loved it. I thought that was really
that was horrific bad. It was from the very beginning. Everything was wrong. It was garbage. No, because why it's garbage? Because Christine marries some black dude. That right there, she's not marrying some black dude. She likes Doctor Strange. That's number one. Get the black guy out there. Yes, I said it. So then the next thing is that he's pining for her still, and then the whole bullshit line. And I think Mike Cantu sent this out. Who else was it? Mexican Iron Man, Paulie, was when the girl, America Chavez, speaks Spanish. Says this guy does not speak Spanish, but says it in a very derogatory way. Este güey no habla español. Like that's a very negative thing to say to somebody. That's basically this white asshole can't speak Spanish. That's literally what she said in the movie. I said, "Fuck you guys, I'm out." It's bullshit. The entertainment now is a crap. So I like the fact. So, but going back to this article, let's circle back. This article proves it. Yes, we identified some movies that are better that should be on this list because they are good movies. We said and they're after 1980.
Yeah.
But the movies, the horror movies now are getting crazy. Where they just how'd you say it? They basically how'd you say it? They rape their IP. They Saw got mutilated or sawed up because I never saw Saw. I never saw it. I don't like that kind of shit. But I appreciate the movie and what it did. But then every other movie was like, it was just vignettes of let's see how we can kill somebody. Same thing with Final Destination. They are just scenes just plopped in. And now when I see TV, if I ever do, I laugh because it's just so fake. You can tell it's not genuine.
Yeah, I know. And that's what's sad.
So it is a Halloween nightmare.
Is that they make these remakes over and over and over and over again. It gets.
But there is one thing I'm looking forward to watching.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, there's one. Well, again, remakes. There is one remake per se I'm looking forward to watching on Netflix next week. It's the Frankenstein by Guillermo del Toro. He has one coming out. It was released. Oh, Weapons too. I heard that was good. I didn't watch it. Again, I don't go out that often. I think the last time I know the last 3 films or 4 films I saw, Oppenheimer, what is it? Tenet, Endgame.
The last movie I saw was Nosferatu.
Those were the last 4 I saw.
And then
in the theater.
Right. I thought it was really, really good. And I saw it in the theater.
I have not. Yeah. I like Eggers, and that film. But again, now how'd you say it? Do you like with Frankenstein? I do want to watch it because again, we haven't had a good Frankenstein film in a while, but we've had some good Dracula films. But this Nosferatu one recently was a throwback to the original Nosferatu, not this one. So there is some distinction.
And I was impressed with the acting ability.
Yeah. And that's the thing because again, he is a good writer and director. Eggers does that thing. The Northman, which is also kind of a not horror, but more of like Celtic, fantasy, so there are some elements there. And then of course he did like the classic, that the Vitch.
Yep.
Vitch. That was a good one. And Hereditary also. And Midsummer. They're a little more, how'd you say it, art house, but they're good. And then there's one that you should all watch. It's the most, I like it because it is very weird.
Yeah.
But look it up. Nicholas Warren's, I believe it's I know the movie's called The Neon Demon.
I've never heard of it.
Dakota Fanning. Jenna Malone is in it.
Write it down.
Yeah, The Neon Demon. You watch that movie and it builds up and everything there. You're going to go, I can't. No, the last scene is the most like, what the fuck just happened?
I wanted to touch on something real quick that Six Nations was talking about. He's saying, the remake of The Thing. So
Mhm.
while the thing is technically one that he did with Kurt Russell is technically a remake, it technically is not is actually a complete reboot. Because if you take the thing and the thing from another world, they're actually two separate movies completely. And then the last one that came out that was just called The Thing, and that was actually supposed to be tied on to the
Prequel.
original movies.
It
Yeah.
was supposed to be a prequel, yeah.
They just, instead of like explaining that to people, they just made it seem like it was a reboot.
Yeah, but it was actually a prequel, which made sense in a way.
I haven't seen the newest The Thing, but the only one I didn't know, the one with Kurt Russell, was a remake, or
Yeah.
there was another one like it.
James
I
Arnaz
didn't-
was the original thing in the original 1951.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
What? The
I haven't seen
original?
the original. Mm-mm.
Well,
That
Janet,
original one that we
damn it,
watched,
Janet, what's wrong with
Fat People, that was really good. That was a
Wait a minute.
really good movie. I'd never seen it before either, and that was one
you?
that
Had to have
Bruce
done it before, haven't you?
Huh?
You have dressed up for Halloween as Janet from Janet from the Planet and Janet from Rocky Horror Show.
Picture Show.
Have you done that? Okay, so you
Yeah.
have done it. Okay, you have done it.
Yes, I've done that, and I
of course,
love Rocky Horror.
and theoretically you have
Rocky Horror,
you have the costume on right now.
I have seen Rocky Horror like 60 times. I go to
I've never
midnight
seen it.
movies,
Not one.
and I love dressing up as
I've
Magenta.
seen
She's my favorite character, even though most people say, well, you know, it's Janet. You should dress up as Janet Weiss. I'm like, ugh, she's so boring.
Yeah,
it's
everything
just
was
run around
about.
and flip all night, and scream and all that stuff. But
And of course, when you think about Hardwick, 1938.
Yeah.
What happens around 1938? Just kidding.
Who Goes There? I don't think I've seen that one. Hardwick.
No, the story was originally called Who Goes There?
Yeah. Oh, I haven't seen it though. Is it a movie?
We're talking about The Thing.
I know, but they made that a movie. It's called Who Goes There?
That's the book.
Oh, okay, from a book. Man, I bet that was so scary when it came out.
I'm tired. I could read your chaps. What?
Sorry.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a book. I'm sorry. So I'm really sorry. But
That's fine.
yeah, I haven't watched People Under the Stairs yet.
Oh, people. Oh, now
haven't seen
that
that.
one is interesting. That's an interesting one because again, there are two takes on it. One is kind of like it was a rebuttal on the Reagan administration.
Yeah.
And the other one was just basically white man bad per se, theoretically, going whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun. It was fun. I understood what it was. Poltergeist.
Really
God
good.
damn
Yes.
it! That one
That
right
was a
there.
good
That one's actually. Wait. I take it back.
Well, you know what's scarier about that movie?
Probably.
What?
I know.
What's
Janet,
scary about the
come
movie
on.
is all the people that died during filming.
Well, not
Really?
only that,
Yeah.
Well,
The
before
young
that,
girl
before
from the
that.
movie, she was killed by her boyfriend.
And why was that, Tommy? Because the pool scene, they used real skeletons.
Yeah, because there was actually a burial ground there.
Yeah, they actually did.
I'm gonna stand up.
Wait. Full screen yourself, please. And get rid of the thing.
It's because I got my curtain here, but
Okay, we can't see you if you have to full screen yourself. Okay.
yeah, I got a whole outfit on.
Guys, I tried.
I think it's beautiful.
Guess she's not gonna.
I love this.
She's not gonna do it.
You what?
That's you're gonna
Just
full
stand
screen
there?
yourself and jiggle
I can laugh and go.
for Halloween.
There you go.
Wait, full screen,
Oh, and then I was supposed to do this because remember,
Janet.
she
You're not
came
full
out
screen,
with a-
Janet.
She came out with the song and said, "Don't you love my pumpkins from the pumpkin patch? They're really large." Did you see that video? It's so funny.
I think you
posted it
broke.
on my
Was it bigger than-
timeline.
was it bigger than your
He
thumbnail?
looks broken.
It's broken. What's broken?
Ruben looked like he was broken for a minute.
No,
He
I
just
know.
kinda paused
No,
and
I
froze.
no. I'm just. I
It's
can't
done.
see
It's ready.
anything because you're too far away. You're too tiny. And I was just like, You're not. You could have been much better if we were larger. That's what I was thinking in my head. Like,
But yeah,
Lloyd
I fell
Christmas,
in love
yeah,
with this
like
wig.
so,
you're
ladies
talking about
out there,
technically
please.
Halloween movies. Technically, Halloween movies. So Lloyd Christmas gets one right there, or The Crow. 'Cause everything falls right at the
I
end.
don't know if Joe was here, but Joe,
That's right.
tell
No, we
your
did do The
wife to dress
Crow.
up as Vampire Girl from Life Force for Halloween. Thank you. Anyway, that's you have a nice.
Yeah, that was a
nice
fun
Halloween.
movie. We did fun. We had fun on that review, didn't we? It was a good one.
Everybody had fun at the review, especially all the guys.
Yeah, it was great.
Yes.
And after the show was over, I kind of gave a secret away about how women make their,
Yes, but again, for Halloween, I would want to have somebody coming up my door and knocking and wanting candy. But it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be.
Like
It wouldn't be I almost blew the joke there. Shit. But it wouldn't be anybody in a costume. It'd be Sydney Sweeney in her outfit that she wore.
Yeah.
A couple days ago.
But see, that's what I tell people all the time. I say, if you want to spice up your relationship, just go with your woman, take her to a lingerie store or a costume store, and
she wasn't wearing lingerie. She was wearing a dress.
Well, I know, but she can wear a different costume that you.
Where is that dress? What is that dress? I want to find.
And then get her
dress.
some wigs, and then you have her cook dinner, like you normally would, but show up at the door as someone else for dinner. So, like, who's coming to dinner? And you eat dinner and you have fun with a total stranger, and it's legal.
Wait a minute. Taking a woman to a lingerie store? I thought you were supposed to take her to a cookware store, Janet.
Well, you can do that too. It just depends on what floats your boat. The thing is that you can have fun. Just because you get married doesn't mean that you're, everything dies. That you should grow.
Well, your sex life dies.
Find things that or one of the things that I tell people to do. I think, he's in here. Someone we did a romance show where we talked about how to find somebody suitable, that type of thing. We talked about how, you could dress up and then he'll go to a bar and then you walk in to the bar and you kind of hook up at the bar and you're dressed up in whatever new outfits you have or whatever, make it fun and spice it up. You should have a date night at least once a month. If you can afford to do that. But you don't have to go to a fancy hotel or anything like that. You just go to dinner or go to a movie and have an encounter and make it fun. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but if more people would do that, I think we'd have a lot more people that stay married longer.
Even just simple, just hanging around, with your significant other on the couch, watching a movie and having a movie night. Make your own
or playing games. You know what game that I play with my kids? Have you ever heard of? It's a horse race game. It's a little track, and you have little pegs, and you roll dice. And you had the horse moves around the track, and whatever horses make it to the finish line, first, second, and third, you split the pot up, the money that you put in there. But it's a lot of fun, and it teaches you a little bit about betting and things like that, so you can understand the concept of it. But it's a fun game because you get to roll dice and you get to count and try to bet on what you think is going to win, and it's just a lot of fun. And we do it. We just lay on the floor and play that, and there's lots of fun games that you can play like that. But I just think more people should try to do things as a family or as a couple to reignite what caused you to fall in love in the first place, because so many people seem to lose it. Because you get so busy and then you're tired and you just don't spend time with each other anymore. So you grow apart. And
I remember what Ali Sheedy said in the Breakfast Club. It's unavoidable when you get older, you die inside.
Oh, that's terrible. Everyone dies. But the thing is what you leave behind is what's the most important. The memories you leave behind other people. Oh, I'm there. He's down there. I'm so sorry. I wasn't even seeing you there. Hi, Rex. Thanks for joining us.
Merry Christmas. I mean, Halloween.
He's coming as Santa Claus tonight. I'm sorry. How long have you been down there? Forever?
Oh, a couple minutes, but it was
Oh, okay.
interesting.
Well, I
Yeah.
feel terrible.
And
It's right in front of me too, but I don't even look down there. I'm looking at what's on the screen or trying to read the chat.
I
So
get
it
it.
Or
I
looking
get
at
it.
your own breasts. Just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were
You,
talking about different movies, what our favorite scary movie was.
oh yeah.
And
And
we were really
relationships, you know, you got to feed the
Showgirl.
and
fire, like I said in the
relationships.
It's the
chat.
favorite scary movie.
I
Yeah.
always talk about that.
You know, you gotta make that popcorn, you know, with a good
Yeah.
flick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you know what
Yeah,
I really
I
like?
love
I really do enjoy all of the memes that are going on Halloween right now, especially with JD Vance. It's hilarious. He did the meme. He dressed up like fat JD Vance. It was hilarious.
Well, you know, you got, you know, things like this in culture, they should bring us together. They should unify us and not tear us apart, you know.
Mhm.
We need to find the common ground, don't we,
Mhm.
with our entertainment.
And
Entertainment
some
used to
people
really
are.
unify us.
And some people really are working hard to try to unify people with entertainment.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff that they were trying to force down our throats is slowly just withering away. And I'm really happy about that because we have to stop just taking whatever they hand us and start searching for something better, even if it's watching old movies. You know what I mean? Getting
Absolutely.
together with your friends, watching some old stuff that's actually good stuff that you can enjoy. Like I've had get-togethers, and we'll watch, Rocky Horror Picture Show, and people can dress up and come. Or I've had a couple friends that have written basically a little script out and did a murder dinner, where everybody shows up as a character, and then somebody ends up dying, and we have to figure out who the murderer is
Kind of like
while you're
Clue.
hanging
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So, there's so many fun things that you can do and enjoy yourself. Oh, here we go. He likes Casablanca,
Uh,
but that's not a
or
horror movie.
or in my case, like become the entertainment you want to see, which,
Mhm.
you know, I'm doing my own comic book, and there's others within the YouTube community doing their comic
Mhm.
work and their artwork and stuff, and they're not waiting for, you know, Marvel or DC, who's went woke in a big way in
Yeah.
certain regards, to entertain them anymore. They're making their own entertainment, you
Yeah,
know.
I have a few friends that have done just that, Devil Flyer.
Mhm.
So I,
Mhm.
I got my buddy Vinny Art. I think he's working on his 7th campaign now. And my other buddy Chris Fisk that's doing his Infinitale Chronicles. He just got his 2nd book out, and he's looking towards what he's going to do for his 3rd book. They're creating their own content. They're like stuff that they know that they enjoy,
Hey,
that
Lloyd.
these main companies are not putting out. But one of the other things, Janet, you were talking about with a lot of these people where they can't seem to let a lot of this mainstream stuff go, the stuff that
Yeah.
is not really that enjoyable, they keep going back. And the biggest thing is, I say, because I see it with a lot of stuff, because I do all this toy reviews and I'm always talking about these toy companies. And the biggest problem is brand loyalty. These people get this brand loyalty thing in their head and they can't let
Mhm.
it go for anything. And I see it with a lot of the toys and different franchises that I constantly buy all the time, where these people are
Mhm.
just simps for these couples. Just take my favorite of all time, which was Transformers. The people
Yeah.
cannot let the brand go. They cannot let
Oh.
Hasbro go, and they feel like no matter how bad did these companies screw them over, that they have to keep supporting them no matter what. That's what people have to wind up getting away from, is the brand loyalty. Once they get away from that, you're going to see a return to good entertainment again. You're going to see a return of good quality toys and stuff, and all the things that we want to see that would change a lot with our culture. That's what you need. You need people to drop that brand loyalty.
Do you think, Tommy? 'Cause I totally forgot about the writing and stuff you're doing, but do you see? Well, I know that the gatekeepers are really, really tight now, and that's why we have to go independent if you want to write a book or anything. But do you think that the powers that be are going to wake up and say, "Hey, we can't gatekeep this stuff. We're not going to bring any money in," but because again, it's like if you can do it independently, because nowadays with the internet and all the stuff at your disposal, you can do it. You don't need them. But what can they do to entice back, or or is it too far gone, or is independent going to be more prominent now?
Well, I think one of the things that you're going to see is, as you see independent creators do what they're doing, and don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people that are doing independent right now, and some of these people have big YouTube channels, and they're absolutely derivative to what is supposed to be done because they're all about drama and everything like that. But you're going to see the rise of some of these independent creators. They're not about the drama. They're all about the content that they're actually feeding to the people that are buying their product, to the fans. It's a love letter to the fans, not only to what they want to see, but to the fans out there. As we see these people rise, you're going to start to see these bigger companies that are smart enough to course correct. You will see some of them. I don't think all of them will. I think some of them are so ingrained in this political nonsense that they're not going to let it go until they go under. And I've already seen it with a few of these toy companies where they're doing the same thing. They're so ingrained with the agenda and pushing this shit in their toys and their subsidiary products to push the toys, whether it's cartoons, whatever, they're going under. I mean, look at Hasbro. There's a big example right there where the entertainment end of it, where they're pushing with the cartoons over heavily with agenda, is actually affecting their bottom end sales for their toy lines. And they're in big trouble right now. They are heavily in the red. And why? Because they won't course correct. They see the writing on the wall and they still won't course correct. So I think, yes, Ruben, some of them will, but not all of them. It's going to be like back in the days of the Wild West where you had Mirage Studios rose up out of nothing.
But here's my concern. Here's why I asked the whole thing. Let's send it up. Because what happens if a entity too big to fail starts to fail? We have to have it regulated. So they're already doing it now. There are companies out there that are buying up YouTube channels and partnering with YouTube channels to basically help them create content and do stuff. We'll give you a studio. We'll do this with stipulations and all that stuff. And you see that before. But the thing is that I've tracked this. And yeah, they have underhanded ideals because it's YouTube. It's still Google. But
yeah,
my fear is, and it happened when publishing started happening, like in the late 19th century, 1890s, 1910s, when they basically said, oh, we have to have like publishing censorship, you have to do this. And then radio. So when a new medium is created and you have it saturated or overtaken, it's fine, it's stable. But if there are pockets that come up, they'll start to regulate it. They were doing that because Twitter became regulated because of what people were doing. It's free now, but people are now trying to regulate it back. You saw what the Democrats were doing to Twitter. They're going to do the same thing with the internet. They're doing it in fucking Britain, where you have to have an ID to log in now for certain content. Now, if a state wants to do that, I can understand the state wanting to do it. It's a states' rights thing, whatever. You can leave the state if you want to, but that's what I think is going to happen next. Right now, the protectionist aspect, they're going to start to do certain things. They've talked about this. The movie that I remember very recently was The Aviator with Howard Hughes, where they had where they basically the whole subplot was TWA can't do this because we have to protect the flyers and this and that. And so they're going to, and they're already doing it now. But they're doing it in a very dumb way. We're saying, oh, we don't want like Trump because he's racist. That's for everything. It's racist. He's bad. He's evil. He's Hitler. This and that. There is no policy. It's just attack. So they're doing what was done back in the day, like what Hearst did. What the Hays Code did. They were trying to shame stuff. And they did like you. I don't know if you remember the scandals that have happened, like Fatty Arbuckle. Like all those things that happened. That happened. It's happening now too, Diddy, and all that stuff. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing that our money that we put into these companies was weaponized against us. We put money into Nike, and then Nike comes after us.
Yeah,
I'm just pulling that product out of a hat.
But that's a thing. But now we are in the age of the content creator. But we've always been the age of the influencer. There have been, again, you could say that freaking Jesus was an influencer. Muhammad was an influencer. Benjamin Franklin was influencer. Joan of Arc was an influencer. You could say that theoretically, because that's why the powers that be want to quelch or silence those things, either by regulation or whatever. So we have to be very, very careful. Because I'm writing books. Some, I would say, 25% is fiction and 75% nonfiction. But I'm going to self-publish because what I'm going to say is totally against what everyone wants. But I accept that because I don't want to go be mainstream. And that's the thing. People are going to like, the lure will be to be mainstream. Like the lure is with Congress. You notice that somebody like Ocasio-Cortez, bartender, debt, now is a multimillionaire. What the fuck happened? Nancy Pelosi, and we let it happen. We don't get involved.
That's right. Our eyes are wide open, right? And
but we're not letting it happen.
It.
The emperor has no clothes. We're not talking about it. But then
I think more people are waking up though. I really do.
But the thing is that they're not. The election should not have been as close as it was, in my opinion. It still was.
Ruben says
the fact
we're
that
doomed.
She got 60 million votes. No,
the thing is, the reason it was so close is because it was cheating. And now that stuff's coming out, hopefully each state will do the best they can to quell the cheating and change things so that it won't happen again. Because there wasn't as much cheating in every state as there was in some states. Now, remember, if it hadn't been for the swing states, Biden wouldn't have won last time. So that's where those states are the ones that really need to look at the most. Arizona was, so much stuff's coming out about the cheating in Arizona. So we just have to be patient and let people do their job, but not take our foot off the gas, because as soon as we sit back and become complacent, that's when it just goes right back under the carpet.
But this is the time. Trump's doing it right theoretically, where he's pushing hard every single day. Stopping 7 conflicts in less than 7 months, theoretically. So that urgency's there. Where again, every time there's a crisis with Trump, he solves it right away. Get it done. Boom. Get it done. Get it done. Get it done. And then everyone else, like California, the fires, they haven't started building yet. And no one's talking about it because it's Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom's going to run for president. He's not going to win. But here is where we have to speak out. And this is where we all, Tommy, myself, have to be different in a way. And Tommy's doing it already because you're writing and stuff. We have to write. We have to speak our own voice and not be afraid. Because in my opinion, writing is the first line of the aspect of free speech. They're trying to like the whole all these transgender crap books they have in there. They want to get rid of. Well, then if I put my book in there, then you don't go after my book either. That's what I'm saying. It's fair play, but we have to fight. So I'm going to self-publish and do everything on my own. And I want to, I think that we should have a federation per se. Talk to Eric July, talk to other people, get people involved. Find out, hey, who's a good copy editor, who's a good writer, who's a good illustrator. Fuck the AI shit. We want to encourage people to start doing it on their own. Just yesterday or 2 days ago, I heard somebody was complaining. So like the kid was the parent was complaining with the kid. Says, "Why do I need to learn by times table? Have a calculator on my phone." No, you need to learn this shit. So this is where it's going to be. I mark my words. It happened before. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. But I'm not talking about money. Intellect. The people are getting dumber by the day.
Yeah, but
and super people are getting smarter.
Yeah, but there are people getting smarter, because I have been really shocked to see how many people are coming out against people on the free food and all that stuff for being a baby mama, that kind of stuff. And a lot of Black men were making videos I've been watching on different platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and X. I've seen videos of them saying that they're hoping that this whole thing and that Trump won't quit, that Trump won't give in, because these young women, and not all of them are Black women either, because I've seen a lot of white women bitching and moaning about not going to get their food for their babies and stuff too. But the thing is, they're saying maybe some of these women will go back to their men instead of asking the government to raise their kids and let the dads be dads again. And I hope that that will happen. I want to see more people decide to get married and have a family together
But you have to,
as
but you
a
have,
team.
yeah, but you have to remember that they in right during the Vietnam War, around that time of the Vietnam conflict that was going on, that we started, that they did this on purpose. They went after what? The only thing is that yeah, I know. That's literally that's the worst thing. I heard recently where they have graduates, or two of them, graduates from college at their job, can't read. And then of course graduates from high school who are in college who can't read. I'm going, you can't read? But that's the thing. So here's the thing. What is it? My entire life, people say, "What are you doing?" I'm doing three things, or actually four things. Either I'm reading, writing, playing an instrument, or studying, whatever, or doing meditating, whatever, playing my instrument, whatever. Which is meditation. I don't enjoy watching sports. I don't understand sports. It's retarded. I don't get it. It's sitting there like I would shoot myself after like 5 minutes of watching a D&D game. Literally, I would shoot myself. That's why I don't ever going to watch it. But that's the whole thing, where reading is so important. Well, I should say reading comprehension is so important, because you will comprehend. It's like, you have, I don't know. I can't fathom it, because I love to write. And again, when I send a text message, I send a paragraph, I send text messages, or I send an email. It's a lot. And it's just like people don't read, people don't write anymore. It's just sad, but they got
Well, I think I'm on a couple of websites because I write scripts, screenplays and shorts. I'm writing an actual novel, basically, about vampires and good against evil. Good against evil.
Oh, a story. It's a fictional story, or?
Yeah, it's fictional, of course.
No, I thought you were doing a history of vampires story, not
no. I'm writing a book about archangels and how angels work with certain humans to help them get rid of vampires, the plague of vampires.
Yeah, but that's the way you describe it. It sounds like it's a manual. Here is your that is a way to do it theoretically. That is a pathway to do a book. You could put out the book as, here is the Witch's Guide for the Human, how to deal with evil spirits, as a parody book.
You're in my Discord, aren't you?
I don't even know. I have it. I don't even use it.
Okay, well, I have in my Discord, is one of the first things I did was I put a whole story in there about how not to become be eaten by cannibals. Because remember when Joe Biden came out and said that his uncle was eaten by cannibals?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Okay, after that, I made this whole little spiel in there about how to make sure you're not ever eaten by cannibals, not bathing.
Okay, I see your thing.
You smell bad. It was a whole jokey, goofy thing. But I do dumb stuff like that.
Well, that's the last post you sent me was November 27, 2024.
Oh,
here real quick. So talking about that real quick, you're talking about doing it like manuals. So there actually is a few companies that were putting out manuals like that. So everybody remembers Haynes manuals for automotives. So they actually have a few of those Haynes style books, but they're supposed to be for zombie apocalypse survival vehicles and stuff like that. And they actually have another like Haynes manual on what gear to use for the zombie apocalypse. And so there's actually companies that have been doing books like that. I don't know how well they sell, but there are people doing it.
But that's creative. To me, that's a creative aspect. Because Janet, when you said that, that's what it looked like to me. It would be funny.
Yeah, it would be funny. But the thing is that on the websites that I'm on, there's like Coverfly. There's a whole bunch of different ones, and it's people like me that are trying to get somebody to read their screenplays and maybe make them into a movie or option them in some way or buy them from them.
So
there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that are writing, and they're writing books or writing novels or writing short stories or writing poems, all these different things. It's just that they don't have money. They don't have the means to get into Hollywood to get somebody.
But you don't need Hollywood.
Okay, a lot of people believe that they do. How do you get your stuff made into a movie if nobody reads it?
Well, again, I'm not in the movies business, but I know logic, and the way I do it, I have a story idea. I write down the idea of a story. It's a paragraph or whatever. So it's a treatment. Then from there, you build the story and build that treatment into a short story, something you can read. It's the beginning and end. It's everything. Then from there, you can go out, okay, character development, this and that. You build it up, you build. So the path of already having a script and putting it out there, to me, is dumb. It's stupid. In fact, it's the old school way of doing it. I'm a script writer. I'm going to write a script, send it off. No, be the producer, and you do everything. You can do that now.
Yeah, and I got a lot of friends that do that.
Yeah, everybody, you all have a fucking phone now that is better than a camera that you had like 5 years ago. They're making fucking movies with iPhones, major motion pictures. They come out. Yeah. The software is available. You can do it. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm sick and tired of people saying that, I'll put it out there so someone can actually see it. No, it's time to do. And that is where you're going to get the push, even more pushback.
Yeah.
You think it's bad if you put your script out there and no one reads it? If you fight, they're going to fight back.
You get your stuff set up, like you were saying about getting these people together, like you were talking about, then I'll let you look at some of the stuff I have, and you could say, hey, this is pretty good. Why don't you read it?
But that's So then I'm putting it out here right now. I know it's Halloween, but this is what I've always thought about doing. And I talked about Janet with you for a few times.
Yeah,
we have within the fellowship, there's so much creative energy, but it's not directed. Now, if there's primitive war, we could do shit like this, because again, here's the thing, because again, primitive war came out, and I bet you 9 out of 10 of us said, man, we could have done that. Yeah, we could have done that. That's the whole point. That's what I want to do. I think that's I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm going to start writing and putting things out. I want to produce stuff because I think that we should have like a con. Like, Tommy brings his books and all the stuff. You bring your scripts. I bring my things. And then, we invite everybody to do it. We help each other out. That's what we have to do now. Because again, the government's not coming to help us. I don't want them to help us. I want them to get out of the way, and we have to do it this way, I think, But again, this for me, this Halloween season, because I had planned, I'm writing all this shit. So I had planned to do things, but I put everything on the back burner. But everything out there is very nice. I like it. It's beautiful. I want to go through some stories before we go. But it's out there. Halloween to me, it's a season of how would you say it? It's the time of year where you get to be who you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you have fun because it's all about community. You go out, you see the people, you dress up, you get candy and gifts, you meet your neighbors. It's the same thing. It's like the 3 holidays coming up, Halloween, the Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, shit, all 4 of them are important. They're all festivals. They're part of the human condition, no matter what. Everyone's celebrating. People all over, in one way or another, are celebrating Halloween because it is a seasonal holiday, just like freaking Christmas is and New Year's, because at the beginning of the year. It's out there, and Thanksgiving's our own. What happened?
You said you'd hired me to read some of your stories.
I actually had Corey Sir Toxalock read a story for me.
Yeah, I know. You were telling me that.
Yeah, at our first meetup back, my God, when was this now? 2020? 20, mm-hmm. Yeah. I in Vegas, I was there, or 2021, sorry. I was in Vegas when I met everybody for the first time, and I met Corey, and then I gave Corey one of my poems to read. He recorded it. It's on YouTube. And then of course, but then now but that's one poem, and I have over 600 pages of poems I'm going through right now. The actual number, because I always said that number, I figured I have 684 pages of poetry that I have written down, that I have now put on this computer, and that's still about 90% of my work. There is still stuff I still have in storage at a friend's house right now, and I'm still trying to find a place to go. But yeah, we should all do that. And yeah, and that's the thing. I'll hire whatever, because that's the whole idea. And I want to tout your stories too, because that's the thing now. I guess I didn't mean this to be a selling pitch, but the idea now is that no one's coming to save us. We knew this already. All the entertainment that we turn on TV, it sucks. We like what we're doing. I like what Eric's doing. I like what Vinny's doing. I like what everyone, all the stories out there. Who is it writing? Raven has stories out there. Content's being done. You have the funny videos or little memes that people do. This can be all weaponized to help us say, we don't need you. They're already feeling it. Hollywood's already feeling it. This year has been the worst year so far, and they're blaming all the strikes and all of the stuff that they didn't let us do. COVID still, no. It's because of your quality. It's the way you tell stories, the way that you want to dumb everything down. Enough of that shit. Halloween stories, like the one most underrated Halloween. The most underrated Halloween story for me, my perspective, it's actually pretty good, is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Season of
0
the Witch.
days to Halloween.
Yeah. Because again, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch was supposed to be an anthology, the first of an anthology. It was supposed to be.
I went to see it at the theater back in.
I did.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing I am very blessed about growing up in Laredo. Only that my father's mother was a manager of the theater, but they weren't talking. But he worked there, and his friend became the manager years after. So between 1974 and 1990. I watched every single movie that came out for free.
Well, good for you. Give that man a bucket of popcorn.
No, literally, it's like we would show up at the mall where the theater is, and if he was there, hey, can we watch a movie? Sure. We didn't even pay.
If I'm not mistaken, Ruben, I'm pretty sure he was saying originally Halloween, the first one, was actually supposed to be the end of Michael Myers, because originally he wanted it to be an anthology, but the production studio wanted him to do a sequel, and they didn't want him to delve into anything else after the success of the first one, and that's why he did Michael Myers.
Yeah,
again.
and you know who's behind that? The same assholes that were behind Superman. Ahmed, those guys, they were successful for saying their movies. With, like I said, they wanted to do 2 movies. They did the same thing with Superman. If you don't know, that Superman was supposed to be 2 movies from the beginning, and they got all fucked up because, again, they wanted cost cut, do this stuff. So yeah, they fucked up Halloween with that stuff, because again, it goes back to what we were talking about. Corporate overlords fuck it all up. All the stuff we would have. The perfect case of 2025, the company who's fucked up more than anybody else. Well, Jaguar's fucked up pretty too, but is Disney with Tron, a classic film that had a passable sequel. I like the sequel, and then this third one, I'm not going to watch it. I saw Drinker's review and I went, Jesus Christ, they're getting dumb, which goes to the aspect again of all quality of our, writing is terrible. So we should definitely start doing stuff. So that's my plan. My plan right now is I have a lot of things I'm writing, and it goes beyond anything here. You really don't know what I'm doing. If I said it, you're probably like, you probably go, what? But it's big. It's big enough that it could,
Ruben was a Batman 66 villain in another world.
No, it's not even villainy.
No, I want to add this in real quick, because you're kind of touching on corporate interference, and I think corporate interference is, like, especially for Halloween time, Because I don't know about you guys, like growing up, every single Halloween, I would sit down in front of the TV and I would watch for free, mind you. Now it's hidden behind a paywall because of corporate interference. I
Yeah.
would watch Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin every single Halloween.
Yeah, I
Now
do
you
too.
can't do that anymore because of corporate interference, and it's hidden behind a paywall on Apple.
That's fucked up, dude. Yeah, but that's the thing. But that's the thing, Tommy. We allow this because we are too distracted, and that's the game. Keep you distracted. And they've done this the perfect example of 20th century bullshit. Fabian socialism. I know we're not going to talk talk here, but the idea is that we've let them control everything and they've ruined everything. So let's take it back. That's all I'm going to say. But Halloween, again, like I said, I've always loved Halloween because again, it's fantasy. It is the ultimate holiday where you can do whatever. All of the stories, the Lovecraft, Carpenter, when he did, who was the other one? Shit. The Reanimator, the weird ones, Clive Barker, all that stuff. They've done a lot of weird stuff. And I like that stuff because, again, they're being creative. They're making shit up, and it made you think about all this stuff. They were building worlds that were very, very intricate and all that stuff, complex.
And very different, Ruben, because you mentioned Clive Barker. One that usually people don't even talk about is the movie Nightbreed.
Yes. Ooh,
very, very creative. You've never seen that movie. The creativity on that one is actually off the charts.
Oh yeah, that was But again, that's the whole idea.
What is that one about? I don't think I've ever seen that one.
So it has to deal with a group of people that are almost subterranean in a way, and they almost look demonic in nature, but they're actually just like people who are different. Some of them are almost mutated and everything like this. And there's this one guy, he finds out that he's related to them. And it goes in this, it's a witch hunt thing where the people from the town is like a government agent or something. They're actually after him to destroy all these people, and they're just trying to find a way to get rid of them. And this guy is actually finding out that he's part of them and initially rejecting it and then finally accepting who he is and realizing that he's part of this, what's called the Nightbreed. So it's really interesting movie, though. It's kind of hard to explain in a small synopsis like that, but yeah,
no,
if you're right. I would recommend it. You would probably like that one. What's
it called again?
Nightbreed. Was Winston the same? Was the visual effects guy on that one? Do you know?
I wish I could remember. I don't.
Yeah, but the thing is that Winston, again, if you show kids, this is sad. If you showed them today American Werewolf in London, they think it was CGI, and it's not. But it's all practical effects.
Yeah,
I know. We just recently did that one, and it is
but what's
really,
so
really
funny
well done.
is that cocksucker J.J. Abrams during the was it the fucking Force Awakens practical effects. He said practical effects, and it was all bullshit. Practical magic, who it was. Just kidding.
Well, the thing is, what scares me really is the fact that with this AI stuff, and everyone was talking about that AI actress that everybody's wanting so bad to make user in commercials and stuff like that.
Yeah,
okay. So what happens, in 10 years from now when nobody is, wanting to write music or learn how to play an instrument or do any of these things anymore because AI is already doing it and they can do it,
They're already doing that now, Janet. I said the whole idea.
But in 10 years from now, when nobody wants to be in band and nobody wants to be in this or that for football games or anything anymore, because why? Why would I want to take all that time to learn how to play the piano or the trumpet or any of these instruments when there's no future in it? When this is the future.
But there is future in it. That's the whole point.
How are they going to make a living doing that?
My horn, playing my instrument, it's an acoustic instrument. You cannot reproduce by digital. It's the instrument, and it's me playing it. Because that's the other thing. When I play my instrument, I'm playing my instrument. I am doing it. It's my action. It's me playing. So I'm doing it. When I play the piano, I'm playing the piano. When I'm doing my calculations and writing out my formulas, I'm doing it myself. I have pen and paper. I have books. I write my notes down. I write my notes down in my notebooks. I got lots of notebooks.
Well, that's one of the things too. If it's not, especially music, because that's one of the things where you're seeing a lot of the AI stuff really getting into, and there's something lost when you have a computer making music. There's no like real soul behind it. There's nothing that's actually going to touch you about the music. It's all very generic and bland. It's like a lot of the industrial music we've seen in the early 2000s, where it was all just synthetic stuff and everything. A lot of it doesn't.
I had a friend that played a song for me. They asked me to be on a little group with 4 other people, and we listened to some songs. And I listened to one of them, and I started crying. Because it sounded like it was written just for me, about having my mother for a little amount of time, and then her being no longer there, no longer available for me. And
so let me ask you.
And it was very moving. And
let me ask you, the person that did this one, was it all just strictly AI created, or was there input from the user? Because I know they have ones out there where they can actually do something like almost like
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, because they have ones where you can hum the tune, and the AI will create something to the sound of your humming and make it sound like that. So then there's still a creative aspect to it, as opposed to somebody just putting digital inputs in to create something.
Yeah. So, but what I'm worried about is that why would somebody go through all that work to learn how to, do certain things when there is no future in it for them? Because you have to work, you have to do different things. Then it takes time to learn how to play the drums. It takes time to learn how to do all this, to keep your instruments, take care of them, and do things like that. When there's no reason for it, because in the future, it's cheaper to get on a computer and type in a few things than it is to actually spend hours and hours and hours every week learning how to play an instrument. You see, and buy the instrument, take care of the instrument, do all that work when all you can do is sit and type on a typewriter. You see what I mean? That's what I'm worried about. So I hope that kids will still want to do it, because you will get paid more money when you can sit down on the stage and play a live instrument. People will pay extra to see, just like you pay money to go to the zoo and see real animals at the zoo that you can see on TV.
So you wait, okay, now this is where I get confused. So you do it for money?
What do you mean?
That's the thing. Is money the motivation?
Well, it is for some people. I mean, like parents that send their kids to college. Why would they send them to this college and not that one? Well, they're sending them to either one they got a scholarship in for their sport or whatever, or they're paying a lot of money to send them to a different one so they can become an accountant or a lawyer or a doctor or whatever else, as something that they feel that their child can make really good money or a good living at. They're not going to send them to school to learn how to make baskets.
That's a terrible thing to say.
Well, to me, it's from all the parents I talk to, that's why they.
Oh, then that's terrible advice.
So
that's why everything is very screwed up. Do what you love to do. Do what you have.
Yeah. I wish everyone could do what they wanted. I mean, I've been doing this for almost 4 years, and I'm not making any money yet. So. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that feeling. But there's another thing to being creative on your own. So, for some people, it's monetary, compensation for what they're doing, and I completely understand that. And other people, they do this stuff because it actually fills a void in their life. So, creating music might be an outlet for somebody to be able to get something out that they normally couldn't express any other way. And when you start,
who's gonna
when you start getting too much,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but unfortunately, with the AI stuff, as in more to get into that, people are going to be like, "Well, why should I bother to that?" Or these people going to be able to put the same outlet into creating an AI song that they would if they learn how to play a song on their own and be able to release whatever inner turmoils they have or whatever else that they want to be able to pour out, into the music.
See, I have no problem with somebody using AI. Like, hey, if I want to learn how to learn piano, teach me how to play the piano, teach me the fingerings, and be my guide. That AI is not a problem. Somebody like, like if AI, I'm going to play this for you. What I do wrong, and it'll analyze it. Oh, you play it differently, and then that's fine.
Mhm.
That's a fine use, basically, because again, it's a research engine to me, and it is garbage in, garbage out. It's not accurate all the time. It's just like Google. So
Mhm.
you know.
Yep. I'm just worried that, you know, we're going to have a lot of things that we're not going to see anymore simply because there's no money in it. A person can't make a living. A person's always going to need. We're going to always need
What are
plumbers.
you afraid you're losing? What are you afraid we're losing?
I think we're going to lose the talent that people have and natural instinct in your body. Some people are meant to write. Some people,
but that's not gonna, no. I disagree. It's gonna actually, it's the opposite going to happen. You're gonna have better talent gonna pop out.
I hope so. Hope you're right.
Time will tell.
No, but the reason I say this is because with any advancement, but there's a caveat. Mm-hmm. With any advancement, the gap will increase.
Don't you pull that on me?
No, but it's true. But because again, those that know how to use like best way to describe it. Shit. Okay, 1950s. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you're a woman and you don't know how to use a typewriter, you're useless in the workforce. If you're in the 80s and 90s, you don't know how to use a computer, you're useless. It's a tool. It's a tool. Oh, I use a computer. Oh, we cannot equate, oh, I used AI to being like I'm cheating. You cannot you cannot do that. That's it's a tool. Now, if people use a tool wrong, then that's differently. Like if you basically take a ruler and start masturbating yourself, that's wrong. You're using it the wrong way. I just want to give you a visual.
Yeah, I know.
But you're doing it wrong. So use it correctly. Use the tool correctly.
I think that's the big problem, though, Ruben. There's a lot of people that use it, for their own self gratification, and they're not even applying themselves in any way. So I'm going to give you for a quick example. So Todd McFarlane and Spawn, that's kind of Halloween-y theme in a way, demonic guy that comes back from hell after making a deal with the devil. But Todd ran a promotion where he wanted somebody to draw Spawn, and he said he wanted real creators to draw Spawn, so he was going to use it as a cover of his comic. What happened? A whole bunch of people submitted a bunch of really good artwork to Todd McFarlane to be able to try to win this spot on the cover of a Spawn comic. Some guy just used AI, had AI create the Spawn, and he won. How is that? Just using that as a tool, that's 100%. I have no skills. I can just do it with AI. Screw everybody with their talent.
Well, that's
where we run into the danger of AI.
I know, but that's not danger. That's basically then you have to be better at it. It is a tool. He used it correctly. The way that AI works in doing images, it's prompt generation. So if you put all the parameters in the prompt, it will do what you say. So if you know how to prompt, then yes, you're using the tool correctly. So there is no problem there. Then that's the thing. So then you have to be better at drawing. That's the bottom line. You got to do better. You have another, how'd you say it? The guys that were doing posters for movies. Well, we can just do it on using the printing machine. We don't need to do it manually now. They lost their things. You have to adapt. It's a tool. Period.
Well, to do a Jen Psaki and circle back to what was kind of Katie that Janet was touching on. There's talent out there. They're in all respects, and we're not passing that on generationally, Janet.
It's only cheating if you don't know how to use it.
We're losing skills, and that's when you make the options where you just program in the prompts and whatnot. There's nothing to that. We're not sewing, we're not crocheting, we're not we're not drawing, we're not doing much of anything anymore. And we're not passing those skills on like we used to, generation to generation.
Yep.
Yeah, because
So-
I remember, like with my grandpa, and he learned how to shoe horses from
Mhm.
his uncle, right? And he taught my father how to shoe horses by, taking him with him and putting it, do it. And I used to turn the little thing on the auger for him, and heat up
Mhm.
the thing up for him and hand him nails and stuff. I thought it was
Right.
so cool to watch, because you have to know what you're doing to shave
Yes.
those hooves off and do all that stuff
Mhm.
without damaging the horse.
That's
Or you
right.
can even save a horse's
Mhm.
foot from being
Mhm.
lame, simply because you know what you're doing and what you see when your people would bring in more horses to do their shoes. And little things like that is a dying art. I have friends right now that worked on the movie, the TV series, Lonesome Dove.
Mhm.
And they're doing stuff with Yellowstone and the 1807 and all those different shows. And they
Mhm.
cook out there, but they live out there. This is what they do normally. They go out and they get hired. They cook and do all that stuff for the people that are getting the cattle and bring them in and all that kind of stuff. And that's what he does.
To me,
That's
I
what his
think it's
job
it's
is.
the pacing of society. Do you want to be driven by society, or do you want to kind of slow up, get your bearings, and then chart your own course?
Well, I already did that. That's why I moved to the Hillbillyville.
Yeah.
I have to drive 48 miles to buy alcohol. I mean, because I went from New Orleans to where
Yeah.
I could drive a block away and go to a
Right.
drive-through and get a daiquiri. And now I live in the boonies because I wanted to get away from crime, for the number one thing, but also because it's I don't know. It's just a less stress, I guess.
Mhm.
But you have to
Yep.
mow and you have to do a lot more to take care
Yeah.
of things, because you have more
Depending.
property and all the different things. But
Mhm.
I feel safer. I feel like I'm not going to have a drive-by shooting. I got a lot of things that are different. And I like there's family here too. That's another reason. But a lot of people don't have that option to do those things. And that's what's sad to me, is the
I don't
fact that
think a
we're
lot of
losing
people have
out
that
on.
concept. You and I have that, but I don't think a lot of people have that concept of slow down, take your breath. They're being driven by society. You've got to do this, you got to do that, you got to fast food, this,
Oh,
that.
but look at what you can do today. You just get on your phone, boom, order food,
Mm-hmm.
get a car.
Oh yeah.
I need a tuxedo for this gala. Everything's
I
on
personally
on
hate
that.
that too, Janet. I hate
Mhm.
the disassociation with being able to do anything on your own. It's part of the reason why I hate the AI stuff too. It's a crutch for people who can't do it, with their own talent, as far as I'm concerned. But I mean, that's a whole different story.
The
But
thing
a
is,
lot
it
of
is
these
the future.
brick and mortar stores that we all used to love going out to all the time, like, people don't want to get up and do anything on their own. Like, everybody just wants to sit in the
Oh
house and
yeah.
they want to have everything handed to them. And I miss
Mhm.
those days when you can go out and even something as simple as, like, hey, I'm searching for this record in the store, and you go out to like 5 different record stores
Yeah,
to
yeah,
try
yeah,
to
yeah.
find this one record. I miss stuff like that, and you
Mhm.
just don't see that stuff anymore, as more and more things are
Jesus,
being
it was
digitalized and more things are being
it
streamlined
was worse
with
for
a lot of
me.
these
God damn
delivery
it.
services.
I literally had to go from Laredo out to San Antonio or Austin to get music. CDs. I had to drive
Was it one of those
300
shops too? It was
300
like a
miles.
this and that, like everything type shop.
300 miles. Well, no, I went to
Yeah,
Tower
it's
Records
a
at the time,
pawn shop
and Rose Records in here in
Okay.
Chicago growing up.
What did you
in
have
Las
any like
Vegas.
record stores that
If
did
you
it like
guys
that, where they had
ever
like a
get to go to
turntable
Vegas,
records and discs and everything?
yeah, if you ever get to go to Vegas, go to pawn shops. You will find everything. I
Mhm.
mean, people's jewelry, clothes, hats, shoes, guitars,
Porn stars
everything,
and
rings.
porn stars.
Yeah, everything. You can get anything you want at a
Porn.
pawn shop, because
Hookers. They have
people
hookers
are
for rent
willing to sell
for
whatever they have
layaway. Kidding.
to be able to gamble one more time, because this next time I'm gonna make it. That's their attitude. And the thing is, you can get really good prices on things. And I have friends that would go there with a big truck
Alligator.
and buy a bunch of stuff, put it in their truck, take it back, and they'd sell it in their own stores in Arkansas or Oklahoma, because they could get it really cheap and get stuff that other people would never really even think about. And they put it in their little, their little trinket, stores or whatever, but have some
Well,
really cool stuff.
I mean,
So-
creative people that can think out of the box, it should be a no-brainer now. You got the baby boomers retiring at more than 10,000 a year, and so new job opportunities are opening up all the time, and the workforce is going to be thinned because we simply don't have the workforce that we had during those baby boom years. Now we saw sort of a return to the workforce by people there for a little while, nurses coming out, retiring, coming back, because there was a need for there. And it's like, yeah, I'm not ready for retirement, and I'm not really certain about the future. Now it's kind of stabilized a little bit.
You're not retired yet? I'm just kidding.
I'm not retired. I'll retire when they put me in the ground.
I've been retired for almost a year.
Well, you need to get off your duff and do something then, Ruben.
I like going from one place to another, like going to cons, Comic Cons. Because like I got to meet William Shatner. I talk about it a lot, but I always wanted to meet him ever since I was a little girl. And
those
the first
are coming
time I
back
got
in
to
a
watch,
big time, big way after COVID.
I got to
because it
watch.
kind of killed it during COVID.
Well, yeah, a lot of these things took a hit, and until people started going back, just like I said, they lost money. But the thing is that if we all quit doing it because it's easier, it's easier to push a few buttons or whatever. I like cooking. I don't like cleaning the kitchen. If someone else would wash the dishes, that would be really good. But I have to do both. But the thing is that each of us have to do something to save what we believe is we're losing. And if none of us talk about it or do anything about it, then nothing's going to change. Things are just going to go to the wayside, and it's going to be gone. You're going to wake up one day and say, hey, I'd like to go do this. And you go and, they don't do that anymore. I'm like, what? It's gone. So, it's going to be, well, thank you very much. Yeah. This is my costume because I saw the wig in Vegas and I thought, I think I want to get that wig, even though I don't need it. I got 100 wigs. Is that
like the Elvira thing going on?
Yeah.
There? Yeah.
I didn't have a bat. I didn't have a bat necklace, but I had this biker chick one because I've done a biker chick quite a few times.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean,
technically, couldn't that dress double as a Morticia Addams?
Yeah, I wore it as Morticia when we did Addams Family.
Vampira.
Yeah, I can wear it. Yeah. A witch, or a vampire from any movie or whatever. So yeah. Because I dressed up as Lucy last week for the Dracula movie that we did. Her wedding, her bride, death bride dress or whatever, because she died as a bride. But yeah, it was fun. But I love doing it. And one day, won't need to do it. I'll just push a few buttons and there'll be it won't be me. It'll be someone else. But, they'll just be looking like whatever they want them to look like, because it'll get to be so good people won't know the difference. So
what do you think about what I said, Tommy?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, Ruben's in the back again, Janet.
Oh, there he is. He's waving his arm.
I was asking Tommy what did you think?
I knocked the cord from my camera.
What did you think about what I said, Tommy, about we're losing skills, and we're not passing that on from generation to generation?
I definitely agree with that. And as somebody who's a musician, somebody who's done a lot of other things, I could definitely see that disconnect. I mean, if you even look at some of the newer, what they pass off sometimes music nowadays, you could definitely see it in that. And even some of the writing that you're seeing for a lot of these shows, you could tell a lot of those skills have been lost over time because it's not being passed down, and they're relying on everything else that's already there to be able to make their jobs easier instead of being able to try to learn their craft. Like back in the day, if somebody was going to be able to, they were going to work on a movie, for example, maybe they would do research on the characters that they were going to have in that movie. Can you imagine that? The hypocrisy of these people. Let's research the characters before we make the movie. Now you don't see that anymore. They just get like a brief synopsis off the internet of what those characters are supposed to be, and usually 9 times out of 10, it's wrong. and those type of skills being passed down to be able to, even whether it's like doing movie and doing the research and being able to look into all these characters themselves, being a musician, learning how to progressively write chords, or being able to put your own influence into the music of how you want to hear it, or even if it's writing and drawing comic books, be able to put a certain style in there. You know, all these things are being lost over time, and that's one of the big.
And jobs
I wouldn't say fears. Yeah. Well, I mean,
like,
look at fast food restaurants. There's a lot of fast food restaurants now where your order taker, and some of them no longer exist. You're punching everything
Tommy,
into
what's
a little keypad.
even more egregious is when they basically say to go to pay and it says tip 25. What the fuck? I'm not gonna give you a tip. Right. There was nobody here.
Yeah, I got a can of 401 oil. That'll be the tip.
Well, like Ryan James, who's out in the chat.
This is the kind of thing that we're going to miss. This was made for me out of cardboard and foam, and they made it by hand, and they painted it. They put magnets on it so I can roll my dice in it. It's a dice tower that someone made me and mailed to me, a fan. This is the kind of stuff we're not going to have anymore.
Unless they mass produce it.
No, but that's not the same thing. This is made by hand. This is an original piece of art.
Right. I get it, but I mean, you make a mold of the original, and then you can have as many as you want. To assume
art's going to go away is ludicrous. It's not going away.
No,
I'm not saying art. I'm saying,
but like I said, it's going to go like
this.
The fact
that somebody took their hands and they made.
I know, but it's going to go this way. I told you already. The skill, the people who are skilled by hand the quality will increase. The number will decrease, but the number of people who can't do shit will increase. It's idiocracy, but it's an idiocracy on art form.
And this this is leather. And somebody made this for me. It's a dice to put my dice in, my DD dice. Yeah. But they made this for me.
Janet, you said it yourself. You know, there's something inherently God has put in every one of us, creativity. That's not going to go away. Now, how we use that may differ.
Maybe, but I hope it doesn't go away. At least I hope I'm not alive.
I don't think it's going to go away. I don't know where these fears are coming from. But, you know,
I just love that. I encourage people, and I talk about it. I crochet, I sew, I do all the things that I was a tomboy too in my family. I wanted to work in the yard and do stuff with my dad, go fishing, go squirrel hunting, do all that
Janet,
crap.
You got to say it, Janet. You got to say it. You were a tomboy. What's the next thing you do? What do you do every November?
I don't know.
You work the bowls. There you go.
Oh yeah, work the balls. That's right. Yeah. But the thing is that I watched my mom crochet and knit and sew and make costumes and do tons of things growing up. And my sisters, as I got older, I was like, my sisters weren't that interested in learning to crochet, or one learned how to knit and another one learned to, but they don't really do that much stuff with it. But I just started thinking, well, my mother's gone, because after her mother died, she took it really hard. And after that's when I decided I want my mom to teach me how to crochet. I want my mom to teach me how to sew. I wanted my mother to teach me those things, because I knew one day I'm going to teach that to my daughters, and I have. So the thing is that
all I'm saying is I'm hearing two things from you, Janet. I want to go more mainstream and get some of these things out to a broader base, but at the same time, you like the individual thing. Don't mass produce it so that more people will see it. I just like that this was only made for me. Okay.
No, that's not what I said. What I mean is that a person took time out of their life to use their own hands to make something as a gift for someone else. I do that all the time. I make stuff and give it to people.
And that's never going to go away.
But I hope that never goes away. That's what I'm talking about. A person wanting to do something for someone else with something a skill they have. That's it. Like my sister, she did my eye makeup and stuff for me, and I went to her house and sat there for hours. And I've had this on
all those guys that made buggy whips still don't make buggy whips.
Because she could do it, And that's a
Right.
skill that I don't have. I'm learning, but I don't think I'll ever be as good as she is because that's what she does. She got paid to do that for years and years and years,
Right.
and she's still doing it. So
Well, I mean,
what I'm
back
saying is
in
I don't want
the
to lose those things.
back in the early 80s, I went into a store in Belt Buckle, Tennessee, which is 35 miles below Nashville, in the middle of nowhere. The school was I was just going to summer school. It was a high school.
Mhm.
But very creative school, one of the oldest schools and one of the top 10 high schools in America. In fact, a very famous actor came out of there that was on MASH. Anyway,
Mhm.
they're in their little town of 400 and something people, if memory serves me right. They
Mhm.
had a place that only sold hats like this, that sewed on like ram's horns, antenna, different things like that.
Yeah.
The woman's mother ran the store. The woman that first came up with the concept of adding that to hats, to make them crazy for like games and things like that, ball games and things, was a millionaire back then, so you can, you know, it depends on what you're wanting to do. There's very low, you're right. It does take money, but to get a prototype that's the whole thing about Shark Tank, right? Invest in
Mhm.
my idea, and they do.
Yeah, I buy stuff that's mass produced and I play with it. So
Hmm.
I have it all over my office.
Right.
I have no problem with that, but I don't want to lose the individuals wondrous whatever it is,
Hmm.
and if they
Well,
don't have
I think,
anything to make them want to try something because they see someone do something, painting, uh, building Legos, whatever it is. I want to make sure people still do that instead of doing this all day.
I think, Janet, I
You
mean,
see what
you're
I'm
kind of
saying?
hitting on the
Hmm.
fear of people being able to do their own thing. Because I remember, if everybody remembers, at one time you had a lot of people that would take their shoes to a cobbler and have their shoes fixed up. Now you don't
Yes.
see that anymore because of the way the mass market, production is with shoes. I mean, they're so cheap, you just throw them away. You don't really buy a high quality shoe that you're going to have repair. And not to say that there ain't people that still do cobbler work, but they're very limited in number, and they're getting harder and harder to find as the years
Right.
go on. And
Mhm.
what you're saying is, you got to be worried about a lot of this mass produced stuff and those type of things, because you lose a little bit of that personal touch that you'd be able to get with some of this stuff, and you're
Mhm.
losing a little bit of the skill too. Because hey, why should I get into doing this stuff since it's such a niche market? I'd rather just get into something that's more mass producible. And that is something that has definitely been lost on younger generations. And this
And
all kind of
lucrative.
circle backs to skills being lost as well, because these skills
Mhm.
aren't being passed on.
Hmm. Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, people are going to go the lucrative route. If it's more lucrative, there's very few, 1 out of 9, 1 out of 10 or less, that will do something simply because that's what they feel called to do, and
Well, that's
take a
like
pay cut.
you making your comic book, right?
Hmm.
When you get it printed out, your comic book is going to be a copy and another copy, and they put numbers on it or whatever, which is,
Hmm.
I understand because I collect comics.
Right.
And the number one is always going to be worth more than the number 500. I mean, that I understand that concept. And I still
Well,
want that.
okay. It depends
But
on what's in it,
the
Jen.
difference is when you hand draw everything yourself before you even produce the comic book, right?
Hmm.
Now,
Right.
all of those individual pictures and stuff that you made are now collectible. Okay, for people like me and you that like to
Hmm.
collect other people's work because we get enjoyment out of, just like I just said, I get enjoyment of just holding my stuff, playing with my stuff because I enjoy it. Now, other people, my sisters look at it and go, oh, they think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous, but I don't. That's okay. They rather do something else. They can do
Yeah.
that, and I don't have a problem with that. It's as long as there's still that skill there. The fact that you can sit down and put a pencil to paper and make that. Okay, just like
Right.
me sitting and crocheting something out of nothing with no pattern, it's a skill that of something that we love doing. Okay,
Yeah. And
and what I'm
something you
worried
can take
about.
pride in refining over time.
Yeah, and giving it as a gift or whatever it is I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's what I'm worried about is the kids that I see now in the shopping cart playing with this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Okay,
that
that's all I'm
basically,
saying. I'm not saying
yeah.
it's going to ruin the world. I'm just saying it's sad to me because that is the future, and
Well,
it is the
hopefully
future.
we're finding out family is ultimately important, you
Mhm,
know, because that's where you learn at the knee within the living room in front of the
mhm.
fire, right?
Yeah.
That's the best school, not public school, not private school, homeschoolers in the 90 percentile. At one time,
Yeah.
all schools in America were homeschools. Imagine
Oh,
that
yeah.
before we
That's
built
why
universities.
when we used to watch Little House of the Prairie reruns on TV,
Well,
that's what they did. That's what how they went to
then you
school.
have to remember that's how it used to be, where you were taught by your parents or your family members. That was
Mhm,
the whole idea. You had a family, and the modern Fabian, they changed everything. They wanted to take the women out of the house, do that stuff. But the idea
mhm,
that it was the schoolhouse, the school with the church that did that, the community did that. It was all to help the community, not a commune, not communist. That's where they got. And then that's where they wanted to radically do things.
mhm,
But it's horrifying what they did. But
mhm.
Halloween means a lot to me. It's a fantasy time, a good time.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I was wondering why we were talking about everything but Halloween, but maybe I came in
we were
after the
talking
Halloween
about
stuff.
where historically where Halloween came from, and we did all that, and I
Mm,
shared all that. And then we talked about Halloween movies, the scariest movies, and was a list of the top 7 from IMDb,
yeah.
listing by what people voted on. Basically, I
Yeah.
could have done
Well,
Rotten
you know
Tomatoes.
what? I do feel that they got one thing wrong on that list. I think the original 1978 Halloween should have been a little bit higher on that list just for one simple reason. Much like Alfred Hitchcock kind of changed the way some people looked at horror. He was one of
Hmm.
those defining guys that actually created something different and say, hey, you can have a suspense horror that is really good where it doesn't have to be gory and everything like that. The 1978 Halloween issued in the pretty much the rage of the slasher film because based off of what he did, what John Carpenter did with Halloween, that's where you wind up getting Jason Voorhees with Friday the 13th.
Hmm.
Off the backs of that, you get Freddy Krueger. You get all these other characters were created off of what he did with Halloween. And that actually, some of the scenes in that movie were actually supposed to be much worse. There was actually supposed to be a scene with the dog that was yapping at Michael Myers, and they had Carpenter cut it out, but he was going to have it where Michael Myers the dog that dog up by a tree in the movie. Kind of glad they cut that out. It would have been horrible, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I think him is ushering in the slasher genre of all these different films. Probably should have ranked him just slightly higher than that. Just my
well, 2
thoughts.
movies that I had nightmares after watching was Pet Cemetery. After seeing the little boy get run over, it was I had a really hard time dealing with that. And then the other one was, oh, now I forgot again. Damn it!
So here's
I
Well,
one
just
for you
I
all.
think sounds in it.
Here's one for you all. 'Cause I have one. I have one.
Mhm.
What is the best scene in a horror film that you enjoy watching?
Well, there's one scene, and I've seen it like 70 times that I can watch over and over, and it still think it's just as almost as exciting as it was the very first time I watched it. Was the transformation of the werewolf in American Werewolf in London?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still
You
think
just
it
want
was
to hear a man
phenomenal.
The
screaming, get
precursor to
naked, and rip
that
his clothes
one.
off. Come on.
Yeah, the precursor to that one, there was a film that was done, I think it was in the 30s, where
Mhm.
the reveal is this lady becomes a witch and she does it on screen. The way they did that is that it was black and white. And they made her.
You're talking the octopus or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the
They painted her
30s.
face a certain
Yeah.
way so that when
What?
Yeah.
you
Oh,
no, you
if you've never seen the transformation of that, it's
it's like
What's
genius.
the
and
name
it's
of the
all done
movie?
on camera. But
Yeah.
all she
And
does
practical.
and
Yeah.
practical. She just
Uh-huh.
turns her head a little bit and they do some trickery real fast and it just like
Mhm.
she turns into a monster, but the makeup was already there. They just hit it
Yeah.
because of the coloring of again,
Cool.
because but this is what I mean. If you have a tool, they utilize it to the maximum. The same thing they
Mhm.
did in 62 with Mary Poppins. They used it was no blue filter, it was no green filter, it was a yellow sodium filter that had it was like the technology is far more superior than what we have now, but they're not using it because it requires a mechanism that has, a prism with, light, but it does beautifully. That's why we can look at Mary Poppins and the scene when they go into the cartoon world and the Chucky and all that stuff. We can marvel at how beautiful that is,
Or
and
step
then
on clouds.
yeah. And have it that you don't see like how it is on we do blue, we have blue screening, we have the fucking biggest cameras in the world, and then we still have the things in the back. Oh, you see the thing in the back. They didn't have it there because again they did the right way. But what about you, Tommy and Devil, regarding horror film scenes you were like?
Well,
there's
one. I was going to say there's one scene that actually stands out to me. I don't know if it's my favorite scene, but it's one of those scenes that I always found creepy. So the original Amityville Horrors, one scene where the demon eyes pop up in the window when the girl that always creeped me out as a kid. And even today, looking at that, it's a little bit creepy to look at.
And it's so simple. It's so simple. God,
what was that vampire movie where it was the town with the vampires and they just recently did a reboot of it on HBO. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name of this, but there's a scene. No, it's what Lost Boys was kind of technically based off of. So it's the little kid, he got turned and he's scratching at the window. There's like scenes that they use in Lost Boys where the little kid is scratching at the window of his
Salem's Lot.
Salem's Lot. Thank you.
Salem's Lot. Okay.
Salem's Lot.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, it's like realistic horror. Could it happen to you type thing, and probably body horror is the worst. Right. I just know the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where it's implied and not shown, is much more effective than like seeing the penetration of the 80s slasher movies.
Have you guys seen that new movie?
Because your imagination can fill in the blanks a lot better than any direction.
I mean, Demi Moore.
The Substance?
Yeah, have you guys seen that?
No, but I know it. I know it's bad. But
it's really good.
But for
really
me, so to like I said, I'd mentioned it before. The Neon Demon is one. Watch that movie for it has a scene. It's very, very weird. But the movie that for me, it tells you a lot about my style. How I again, imagination. Like, people hated the Blair Witch Project for some reason. I loved it because again, imagination. I like to imagine everything they show you. I'm thinking in my head of something else. I'm projecting something else happening. So the movie that I like, the scene that's very, and it's not a horror. It's a horror film. It's a horrifying. It's scary scene in my opinion. But again, that's me. It's subjective. It's actually the hospital scene from The Exorcist 3. I don't know if you guys know that one.
I'm trying to remember what was exactly going on in that scene. So
nothing. Basically, it's just the hallway, and the lady's moving around, and it stays there for a very, very long time until the attack happens. And the attack happens, but you don't see anything.
Yeah, but that is your mind is filled in the gap.
But you watch it. If you go out there and look it up, people, Exorcist 3 hospital scene. It's about 3-4 minutes. It's long, and no one's talking in it. Well, there is a few sounds,
but you got a music score.
Music's not playing either.
It's not. It's just silence.
But that's the whole thing.
I would argue that some of the scariest horror movies are silent movies, because you're sitting there in the dark, and if it doesn't have a musical score, and there is a way to build suspense without music or without a soundtrack.
Yeah, because again, with Exorcist 3 going back there, Paul, the guy who did number 1 did number 3, but then they fucked it up. They got interfered with it. So the book is better than the movie, but I do like the movie because I actually own the original cut, the director's cut that would have been, that has stuff in it, but it's a good movie to have. Oh yeah, Event Horizon, another one. That's another one. That's a horror.
That was really scary.
But then with
I never
Horizon,
know why people like that movie. I was unimpressed
Well,
with that movie. I'm in the minority. I know.
But they fucked up because they had good sets, but at the very end they ran out of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can carry a bad movie with a great concept.
True.
I would say The Mist is one of those. It's got not a totally an original concept, but it has a good concept, as a basis.
Yeah, and it's a very like,
but it's poorly
depressing
executed.
Ending. Do you think it's poorly executed?
I think it's a fatalistic, anti-Christian movie. When you think
that is true. That is very
when you
true.
look at the characterization of how this church lady in the grocery store just turns, and then people that was on his side, on Thomas side, goes over to her side, and so it feels rushed. And
she lives in the end.
They should have worked on characterization.
And then
there's nothing worse than watching a whole season of something or a whole thing, and you don't care about the characters because they're not well written. Now, I understand the book is always different than the movie, but the movie I thought was fatalistic and anti-Christian as it's I think Fury. Fury, the war movie, is an anti-American movie. And a lot of people like Fury, but there's no way an SS person is going to let another American, the enemy, go free to tell that story. And then all the American soldiers were looked at as cursing, brutish, the aggressor in the movie.
I never saw
microscope
it. I never saw it, but again, I hear a lot about what's the other one, Band of Brothers, if it's any good or not. I do not know. I have not seen it either. A lot of shows I haven't seen. I don't have time for crap. But that's the thing. I want to know if it's any good. But that's that's for me, that type of Halloween horror where it is delayed, quiet, like the one, there was one movie recently that came out that got a lot of controversial, I think it was Skinamarink. Have you heard of that one, Skinamarink? It was an experimental film. It came out a couple of years ago. Very experimental.
Squid Games was pretty good.
That I did not see.
I liked it a lot.
And you know what? And here's the other reason why I don't want to watch it. If everybody's watching it, I'm out. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I didn't know if
I really don't know. Because again, for me, pop culture.
You never seen Star Wars? Got it.
It's all about garbage.
Yeah, and I also loved Fault. What was it? Something about the no, it was Walton Goggins stars in it. He's a ghoul.
Oh, Fallout.
Yeah, I really loved it so far
I didn't
too.
watch that crap either.
I really loved it.
How do you know about this, Ruben? Well, because I watch all these shows that tell me that's all shit.
Here's one that I just watched recently, the director's cut.
Guys, help me out.
And it's more in the fantasy realm, but you could say horror too. Legend.
So,
Legend.
Where they build the suspense and don't show you the monster to the very end, and then you have this very grandiose, looking. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah. Tim Curry was excellent in that movie.
He was. I can't.
The most
underrated. You almost forget that that's Tom Cruise in it.
Yeah. Well, he was gay, he is. No, what's so funny is the one sci-fi film of that realm, because we're in this realm now.
He's got to get through his list,
miss. You know what I miss, right? Krull.
Yeah.
Krull. Yeah, we did.
Krull's great. Yeah.
I know, but again, these movies were done. They had special effects. They used practical effects. The she opens it up. The planes come up. I love that shit. And again, the flying horses.
I can't remember the name of it, but we did one. It was about the guy that plays a video game, and he hits this reward number or whatever, and they send him there. The Last Starfighter.
Oh yeah,
that's a great really good, fun movie that Bruce and I.
You could cut it as a horror film.
Well, it was just really good.
I know.
It was really good. It was fun. It had fun characters. It was the
Yeah, I know
concept
it was
of
bad.
playing video games to recruit new starfighters. I just thought that was
Kind of
just
like Tron,
ingenious.
where you're in the system.
Well, I've never seen Tron. I haven't
which is
seen
like
any of the Tron movies.
You got to see the
Matrix,
original at least.
the original
I've never
Tron.
seen
Go
them.
ahead and see it. Yeah,
So.
absolutely. Yeah,
I haven't seen them at
Yeah,
all.
because
Yeah.
again, there is an Easter egg of Pac-Man in it.
What? For real?
Yes, in Tron.
I want to go see that one with Toxic Avenger or something.
Yeah.
I saw the little trailer for it, and I thought, wow, this looks really good. I've never read the
Don't
comic
never
or
watch the
anything.
Dinklage. Never watch the Dinklage. He's horrible.
Well,
the original
movie
movies
looked
were
good.
pretty horrible. They were done by Trauma, but they were still that horrible fun at the time.
Yeah.
I am not
Toxic
even
Avenger?
vaguely interested. Yeah, I'm not even vaguely
This
interested
new
in the
one,
remake
I
of it.
don't know about it. It just seemed they seem how'd you say overly gory and overly just stupid in a way, not done in a good way. Well, not that I love RoboCop. Shoot him in the dick.
But you
Oh,
talk
and then
about like
Marvel-
overly gory with a lot of movies, Ruben. I would say one of the newer franchises that made a lot of steam, and I personally don't really care for him that much, is the Terrifier series of movies.
I've never seen it.
I haven't
It's
seen
just
them.
like it's a little bit overly gory, like ridiculous. Like it's
Nah, I
it's
don't-
done to
What
the
about-
maximum.
what
Well,
about-
it's supposed to be
level,
it's supposed to be funny, right? It's supposed to be like a comedy.
What about Saw? I've not seen any of those. What about Saw?
What, Saw?
Mhm.
I love Saw. I've seen 3 of them, and when we went to Vegas, I had a bunch of relatives there, and we went to the Saw, where you have to, escape room. You have to escape from it, and it's one after the other, and it's all like movie quality sets and stuff in there. It was so scary, and we had 12 seconds left that we finally got out of the escape room. So
Yeah.
it was definitely worth it.
Pizza.
Oh,
Why is cold pizza so good?
see, I got this while I was there. A couple other little trinkets or whatever, but yeah, I thought that was pretty good. And then we also did It while we were there, the escape room for It.
Oh,
That was fun. So I love that kind of stuff. We have to work as a team and find the answers to be able to get through it, and that's fun.
I actually liked it. The new movies. I actually liked them.
Well, it was more monster, I guess you could call old horror, like Universal horror monsters and things.
Yeah.
That actually got me into comics, and because kids some kids, I was one, like monsters, and I was exposed to a lot of that stuff.
What was
on
your
TV.
favorite comic book as a kid?
Avengers. I mean, once I started collecting, but I started out with the horror books, like Vampire book was my first Marvel anything, and then a Werewolf by Night was my first
Was
comic.
it Morbius?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Morbius
Well, I mean, it
one
was
of my favorite
it
comic
was
books.
it had movie reviews in it with Vincent Price. It had multiple stories, but it was thematic. It was Vampire Tales #5, and which I have here, by the way. It was a Dark Man. Nobody's mentioned Dark Man. But it was all had to do with vampires. And not just one story, but Morbius was in that. It was a reprint from his
My favorite
second appearance in comics.
collection is called The Midnight Suns. It's my favorite 6 comic book collection. I have a whole set that's never been opened.
Yeah.
And then I have one that I read multiple times, took the posters out, hung them up, did all that stuff because I just loved it. It's one of my favorite series. And I'm thankful that nobody's made it yet because I don't want them to ruin it. So far, I'm not real happy with some of the things they've done.
I guess.
And I remember how mad I was when I first saw the very first Wolverine movie. I was so excited they were going to make it. But then when I went and I saw the first trailer, I was like, what the? Wolverine's short, stocky guy. He's not tall and good looking. So I was kind of mad about it. But I was impressed with Hugh Jackman because he seemed like he loved the character and that he really tried to be Wolverine. So he won me over after watching him in the movie. And I watched it a couple times and I really liked him. I thought he did a really good job. But I'm not, I try to be fair, when they
But what
do
did
that.
he do, Janet? You said it. What did he do?
Who?
Hugh Jackman, you just said,
Oh,
basically understood
he
he's
did
an
stuff
actor.
like he did little things like he said, bub. Just little things like that make a difference to me from the comic books.
But he respected the source material, and he told people, like Cavill did with The Witcher, until that's racist. My God, what the hell?
Yeah. So I don't know. To me,
everything is racist.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and it worked out pretty good.
Well, to
But
me,
we've been
as a
going,
kid,
over 2.5 hours. So would each of you like to plug your channels and talk about what you got coming up?
Sure. Let me send you my link to my thing too.
Who wants to go first?
I'll send you my link.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. This is my Substack. I'm sending it to you right now. You got that. Hopefully you can put it out there for everyone to read.
Okay, copy it.
Actually, I hate when it does that. I have all my stories out there. Halloween story, a short story I wrote. They're all out there. Everything's out there, so you can see it there. So yeah, look it out there. That's all basically. Yeah, and basically I've been spending the last whole month rebuilding. Well, I have two computers right here in front of me. I have one. This is the one I'm on. It's my older computer, but I built it, and the other laptop too. But they're both identical laptops. I mean, they have AI built inside them. I built these computers, and our systems are my own creation. I'm doing it, so I'm building everything that way. And what I'm doing over the next 5 years is I'm releasing at least 100 books, multiple encyclopedias on various topics, but the main topics from lowest to highest is governmental policy, fantasy literature, gothic horror. That's all attributed. They're all connected. Then it's going to be mathematics, and then astrophysics, because I have 7 new theories and discoveries that are coming out in the next 5 years regarding the nature of the universe, time, everything. I've cracked 50 years of research. I figured out for a few things, and it's very interesting news. So I know everything regarding that. The Big Bang is not the Big Bang. It's and time is not what you think it is. Light's not what you think it is. It's totally different, and it's lovely. It's beautiful, and the mathematics are there. I've been working the calculations for the last 5 years now, and the type of time now to get this done. So more things are coming, so you'll see all that stuff.
Can you get me the lottery numbers?
Yeah, we can all pitch in and buy a ticket.
That's right. That's right. We could buy an institute with our winners.
Well, theoretically, you can do that because you could. Well, there is time travel is possible, but it's done very difficult.
I don't want theoretical. I want to show me the money.
I know.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
But again, you're traveling through time right now. That's the whole point. But it's actually you're not traveling through time. You're traveling through gravity. That's what you have to remember.
Yeah. So, Tommy, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. What am I doing?
Tell everybody what's coming up on your channel. Or whatever.
I'm not thinking what is that? Omer glitch? Said.
Guys, in case you can't read it, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Yeah. So what I do mostly on my channel is I have the guinea pigs. I do have a guinea pig collective. Right now we got 5 guys. We used to have 7. We lost a few, unfortunately. But guinea pigs actually take part in a lot of stuff I do, whether it's just looking at the guinea pigs or, of course, the biggest thing that I do on my channel is toy reviews. We do a lot of toy reviews. We have a Thursday show every week at 8:30 p.m. called Collectible Past, our toy show, where I get to go with a really great host of panelists and friends, and we talk about some of the things that we just recently picked up or some of the older stuff that we have in our collections, and we just want to show off and share with everybody, and especially if it's a newer thing, to give a nice, honest, and unbiased review, something that, if there's something wrong with it, we're not simping for these companies. We're going to give you 100% facts so you can make that determination whether you want to get it or not. So yeah, if you want to stop by and check that out, we really do appreciate it. We're making a little bit of momentum with that show. Always a fun show. We just had our 4-year celebration yesterday.
Nice.
4 years celebration
Awesome.
for that particular show. I mean, I've been doing this for over 6 years on YouTube. It's coming close to 7 years, and finally, I have one show that's actually stuck around with a really good longevity. And like I said, it's because I have an awesome host of freaking panelists, co-hosts that are working with me. But
I never hear your voice. I always hear theirs.
Guys, thank you for joining us. And you could have spent your time anywhere, choose to spend it here with us. That is greatly appreciated. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not think, because your silence and your compliance gives consent. Pig out.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn.
And
Hey, Devil,
on my
Irish
channel, you
Christian.
can
A voice for radio.
we talk all things collectible, kind of pop culture subjects,
Mhm.
kind of variety show. But we kind of center that around the niche. You could some say niche comics book industry, but that's not all we cover. Of course, I am crowdfunding over on Fund My Comic right now. Devil Flyer. We've a couple years ago we came out with the Ash Can, and I actually bought this copy off eBay, which made me very happy. Yes, I bought my own book because I know how limited it is. Only 100 made. Hell yeah, I was willing to pay the price to get it back. You bet. Every backer gets I'm working on sketch cards right now for everybody that's made up. Each individual characters, everybody gets an original. So you're getting 2 originals already, plus all the stretch goals. And we're coming up on I know we're going to shatter this where we get a new sticker and 4 more pages added to the book.
Yeah, I'm putting it in the I'm putting it right now in the chat.
Yeah, and that's digital tier. Anything what you want to do is get that charter member card, because that's free stuff from now on in the mail, and I'll always check your address to make sure it's the correct address before I send the stuff off to you. I want to do decoder rings, all kinds of fun patches, different things like that. But for the very first one, I thought, what can I do? So I got some sketch cards made up from Momentum Concepts, Momentum Comics, and I'm currently drawing those now. A variety of media, like I said, different character for every person, different scene. And you also get a head sketch for backing, which is original artwork that you can frame. Sometimes in
Devil
black and white,
Flyer, I got to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
You did say decoder ring. You're not going to give some worthless prize on the decoder ring, like drink more Ovaltine, are you?
It'll be more like Captain Crunch. Or freaky cereal. Yeah. Gone are the days where you go in and you get like free samples from businesses. That's pretty sad, but I can remember those. And I love the pens that you used to tip and used to have liquid in them, and they'd reveal different scenes, But yeah, we had a closeout today of a project that's over on Fun My Comic, and we do launches, so if you got a project to launch, we absolutely want to promote. I feel like if I'm want to be promoted, then I need to promote others and give back, so I do 90% promotion for other people and 10% maybe for me. Janet, thanks for having me on.
You're very welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight. Because I had a couple people that couldn't make it, so I really appreciate it. And what I have going on tomorrow, I'll be playing on one of Bruce's games. And I do that every Saturday. I play. He's got 2 different games. One is a campaign he's been doing for like 16 years. It seems like, or many years. And the other one is a game that he's writing, and he's going to be putting out a manual and all that stuff with that. And Sunday, we're going to be doing the movie review for the movie. It's called Swordfish, starring Halle Berry and Hugh Jackman. And I can't remember the
And
other
her
guy's
tits.
what's his name?
Gesundheit.
You don't remember?
What was
What's
the
the
question?
other actor's name from Swordfish? Do you remember? He was in Grease.
John Travolta.
Yeah, John Travolta. Sorry.
Ding, ding,
So
ding,
he's
ding,
the
ding,
other
ding.
actor. So
These
that's
guys.
the movie we're
I,
doing.
I never saw the movie. Just kidding. How do you know this
So it'll
stuff?
be fun.
Good.
But hope to see some of you there. And thank you everyone from X, Rumble, and YouTube for hanging out with us tonight for Halloween. And I hope you guys had a wonderful day and evening. And I hope we didn't drive you up the wall. But it's the beginning of the weekend, and I think you guys are going to have a wonderful weekend. It's the first, so we're going to see what happens, because supposedly people's money's going to be cut off starting tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes.
I don't think so.
Maybe nothing will happen. We'll see.
Look, government shutdown is good. 17% of the government. It only affects 17%. Don't buy into the lie, folks.
Yeah, try not to.
Okay,
And
yeah.
if you need something, go to your church, your local church, or your
There you
local food banks, because I know a lot of people have been handing out lots of snacks and stuff and donating to all these churches and food banks. So if you need
People are
that,
losing their minds,
please,
but don't you be one of them.
yeah, go there and try to get some help before you decide to get desperate and try to hurt somebody for something. It's not worth it.
No, please do it
No.
so you can be removed from the planet.
Well, I'm just hoping.
I
that
want
people
to. I'm ready
think
for.
it's smart.
I want to put alligators in the Rio Grande.
But I want to say thank you again, and everybody have
death
a
never been in the
wonderful
radio.
weekend. Goodbye.
Go!